SiriusXM NHL schedule for Monday, May the 25th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. Montreal Canadiens take on the Carolina Hurricanes at 8 p.m. Canadiens on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 934, Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219 and Internet 924, national feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Monday, May the 25th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. Montreal Canadiens take on the Carolina Hurricanes at 8 p.m. Canadiens on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 934, Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219 and Internet 924, national feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Monday, May the 25th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. Montreal Canadiens take on the Carolina Hurricanes at 8 p.m. Canadiens on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 934, Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219 and Internet 924, national feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Monday, May the 25th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. Montreal Canadiens take on the Carolina Hurricanes at 8 p.m. Canadiens on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 934, Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219 and Internet 924, national feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
Hockey Hall of Famer and Stanley Cup champion for the Edmonton Oilers and New York Rangers, Mark Messier joined Scott Laughlin on the morning skate for SiriusXM NHL Network Radio on Channel 91 to discuss the pressures of Game 7 after having played in 9 Game 7s himself, winning 7 of them, and how you can either thrive under pressure or crumble underneath it.
I must look at Game 7s, Mark, like I do overtime in the Stanley Cup playoffs or overtime in any sporting event where you've got so much pressure on you and every play gets magnified. Could you, during the course of your career, and you don't have to name names, but could you look around the dressing room or could you look on the opposing bench and could you figure out those that wanted to be the hero and those that just wanted to avoid making the mistake? I mean, was that plain for you to see that there were those that wanted the puck on their stick with the game on the line that could thrive under pressure, and then you had the opposite as well?
I felt myself in those moments there defaulting to the more defensive side of the game. And then I played with my right winger who I won 6 Stanley Cups with, Glenn Anderson. He was the kind of guy that was trying to, really drive hard offensively and take the game and try to score the winning goal. And we're on the same line. Maybe that the difference of us in our mentalities worked perfectly. But everybody's wired different. Everybody's got fear, failure. The best have that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to internalize those feelings, but you can't let them paralyze you. And it's for me, going into a Game 7, I allowed myself to visualize what if we didn't win, leading up to the game, and then slowly as you get closer to the game, you allow yourself to kind of push the negative feelings aside, and you start to fill yourself up with all the great things that are going to happen and what you need to do to execute the game plan, and of course ultimately to seeing yourself holding the trophy. And then as a game starts, all the negative and the positive go away, and then you drill yourself down into just executing the game plan, and you don't think about the what ifs and what should have been or what could have been. You just really kind of play in the moment. And I think trust becomes a massive word when you think about it. Can I trust each one of the players that are going out there to not only to do their part from a strategic standpoint, be in the right position, be in the right places at the right time, but not get undisciplined and take poor penalties at the wrong time because their ego is bruised and someone took advantage of them, then being able to hold all that in check. So there's just so many dynamics to think about for a team in order to overcome all the obstacles to win a championship. And it's fascinating to me. It's one of the reasons I was able to play 26 years, because once you do it, you understand how fun it is, but also how complicated and intricate it is to kind of get not only the team from a physical standpoint to come together, but how a team comes together emotionally, mentally, and the spirituality around a team and the respect that lives inside that locker room is incredible.
Hear it all on demand. Your favorite shows, your favorite games. Don't miss a second of your favorite SiriusXM programming on demand with the SiriusXM app. Download it now for free.
I'm Frank Track.
I just don't know when, and I feel like our understanding of that, is a sign of maturity. And I feel when you have maturity in your group.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Habs Hockey on TSN 690. Victor Finley alongside JP O'Connor. It is conference final hockey back inside a sold-out Bell Center for the first time since 2014. JP, as I mentioned in the intro, we find ourselves in the exact same position as we did in Series 1 and 2. It's 1-1 after the road games for the Montreal Canadiens, who come home trying to put themselves back in front in this series.
After the game, you heard Rod Brindamore talk about his team in Carolina and saying he had all the faith in the world that team would bounce back. That's exactly what happened for the Canes. The question tonight is, will Marty St. Louis' team be able to put that clunker that they played in Game 2 behind them? They took them to overtime, but was not the result that they were looking for, was not the performance that the Canadiens were looking for. Will they be able to bring it back here to the Bell Center tonight and take the lead in the series?
JP, it feels like a long time ago, probably because it was a long time ago by playoff standards, but the last home game here was not exactly one full of happy memories for the Canadiens and their fans. That was Game 6 against Buffalo.
No, not at all. That was a bit of a head-scratcher, but the Canadiens were able to bounce back from that. Listen, we're at day 37 in the playoffs, in the playoff run here. It just continues to intensify, but you have to have a short memory. The Canadiens had that on that night where they got worked by Buffalo. You have to bring this one back here into Montreal and be ready to roll.
Hard to believe, but we still might have a lot of runway still to go in this season for the Stanley Cup final, but that is in June. What matters right now is Game 3 between the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes after an overtime thriller, and Game 2 saw the Canes pull back even at one game apiece, and we are not expecting a whole lot in terms of lineup changes tonight, although there will be one for the Canadiens, that being Oliver Kapanen out and Joe Veleno back in.
Yeah, Kapanen comes out, just wasn't able to get it over the line for the Canadiens on that fourth line. Joe Veleno we know exactly what he brings back into the lineup. It'll be a defensive presence, there'll be a grit, there will be some pace that is added to the Canadiens lineup as they look to take the lead in the series.
That will be the only lineup change we anticipate tonight for the Canadiens. Things look exactly the same for Carolina as they have in games 1 and 2 of this series. So for them, it'll be Jesperi Kotkaniemi with Nick Delorier and Mike Riley all on the sideline today. Ironically, all three of them former Montreal Canadiens. Well, we would not be in this situation tonight if it weren't for an overtime Game 7 winner from Alex Newhook against Buffalo. And the Canadiens in '86 would have seen their season end early had it not been for a Game 7 overtime winner from Claude Lemieux. And it will be Claude Lemieux who carries the torch out through the concourse all the way into Bell Center tonight. You will hear this crowd take over as Lemieux brings the torch into the Bell Center.
messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, accueillons nos Canadiens! The starting lineup. Le numéro 17, number 17, Josh Anderson. Le numéro 21, number 21, Caden Goulet. Le numéro 24, number 24, Philippe Dano. Le numéro 45, number 45, Alexandre Carrier. Le numéro 85, number 85, Alexandre Texier. Et le numéro 75, number 75,
been over 10 years since we've been able to gather quite like this for an Eastern Conference final game involving the Montreal Canadiens at the Bell Center. And boy, what a great feeling it is to have it back here in Montreal. Habs are 3 wins away from an appearance in the Stanley Cup final, looking to get one step closer tonight. Hand it off here in a moment to PA announcer Michel Lacroix to tee you up for the Canadian and American national anthems.
Mesdames, Messieurs, demeurez debout. Retirez chapeaux et casquettes pour l'interprétation des hymnes nationaux par Camille Cormier-Moras, Sarah Justine, Émilie Damour et Éléonore Lagacé, avec un survol aérien des Snowbirds des Forces armées canadiennes. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Remove your hats and caps for the national anthems performed by Camille Cormier-Moras, Sarah Justine, Émilie Damour, along with Éléonore Lagacé, with a flight past by the Canadian Armed Forces Snowbirds.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. Gotta keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard. Êtes-vous prêts, Montréal?
Yes, it is a great day for a hockey game in downtown Montreal. Where else would you rather be than the Bell Center on this Monday night? And what a thrill it is to be in the house for Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final between the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes. Get you introduced to the starting netminders here tonight with Frederik Andersen, the Great Dane, going for the Carolina Hurricanes again. He made 10 saves on 12 shots in the 3-2 overtime win in Game 2. He did have a game this year where he only had to make 9 saves on 10 shots in a 5-1 win versus Columbus. That was late in the regular season. And Jakub Dobeš, who in the playoffs for Montreal has been immaculate after a loss. He's 6-0 with a 1.77 goals against average and a 9.42 save percentage. Ready to go from center ice. Philip Deneau will start us off. Habs moving right to left. Victor Finlay with JP O'Connor along for the ride tonight on the call for TSN 690. Thrilled to have you with us as the Canadiens will work it back into their own zone to start off Game 3. Here's a quick shot from the line from Carolina. That's blockered away by Jakub Dobeš. Far side battle. Lane Hudson out there with William Carrier on Carolina, who muscles the puck away. All the way to the near side it goes. Picked off by Gooley, played to center. Robinson chips it back in. So Rod Brind'Amour going with his fourth line to start this game. They were good in Game 2.
They were excellent, had a couple of goals as well, and starts this game off exactly how they want to, with some physical play.
Habs under pressure in their own zone. They'll play it to center. It's cut off by Carolina and flung back in over the Montreal net. As Jordan Martinook hunting it down in the forecheck. Canadians played up the near side, can't get it out. Chatfield with a shot. That one hit the outside of the net. Back to the line. Ehlers finds the mark. Slavin looking in front for Chatfield. That got away. And Gooley carries to center. He'll just throw it in. And back in behind for Freddie Andersen. Played it around Sebastian Aho on the far wing. All the way up to center. Here's Chatfield crossing the Montreal line. Off to Ehlers, cross ice. There's a shot back across the grain from Seth Jarvis. That just missed the net. That goes all the way down ice for Sean Walker.
A little bit of a nervous start here for Montreal.
Carolina at center. Here's Aho. Just up to the blue line. He's stripped of the puck. Matheson settles down for Montreal as they chip it into the Hurricane zone. They are about a minute 50 into this game tonight. The Habs haven't had any zone time yet, as here come the Hurricanes the other way. Seth Jarvis right side, in deep to the corner. Back to the line. Logan Stankoven with it now. Passes off. There's a high shot from Sean Walker that's caught and frozen by Jakub Dobeš.
You like to see that play by Dobeš. Takes the temperature out. A little bit of activity down here with DeAndre Miller. Mike Matheson with a late left hand coming in over the top of the linesman. Jakub Dobeš understands that his team on their heels a little bit to start this game, just having some trouble sorting things out in the defensive zone. That shot comes in from the blue line. It's an easy one. Probably could have put it down and played it, but instead will take the whistle, allow the Canadiens to reset.
Face off to the blocker side of Dobeš. It'll be Logan Stankoven, who has yet to record a point with this second line, and they were so good for Carolina in the first two rounds. What's shut out in 2 straight games by Montreal. That's Stankoven with Blake and Hall.
It's going to be Jake Evans getting thrown out of this. And listen, there's some crazy numbers you throw around, and plus minus can be interpreted as you will, but this line with Stankoven and Blake and Hall were minus 11 through the first 2 games of the series.
Which is shocking considering they were outscoring their opponents 9-1 in the first 2 rounds when on the ice. As here come the Canes back to center. Jackson Blake carries in right wing, moves it across for Taylor Hall. Spun down low to Blake. In behind Dobish. Blake gets to it. Centers. Hall is there. Shot is off of Josh Anderson and wide of the net. Blake far side corner. Off to Hall. Looks to go back to Blake. Alexandre Carrier steps in front of him. Battle stays moving along the boards. It'll be picked up by Gooley. Snapped around. Anderson near side. Chips it to center. Carolina pick it up and come right back in. Keeshan, long shot. And a pad save made by Dobish. Back to center again. Josh Anderson with Joe Veleno, who's back in the lineup tonight. Last played in Game 6 against the Buffalo Sabres. As Oliver Kapanen sits out, that's the only lineup change tonight between both of these 2 squads. 16:49 to go in the first period. Habs still have not had any zone time. They play it in on Anderson. He'll move it around. Look out, Jacob Slavin almost got erased, but Kirby Dach just missed him as it comes back to center for Montreal. Far side Bolduc in on Jacob Slavin. Slavin's able to fend him off. There's Dach with a good hit on Chatfield. Good to see Dach here, ready to go physically tonight. As it's played into the Montreal zone, or will be a line change here that'll see Demidov step on with Evans and Newhook. Long stretch pass through center, missed the mark. That'll be an icy call against Montreal.
You can see what Hudson's trying to do as he steps out from behind the net. He's trying to put a puck past the first layer of coverage, but ends up taking a funny bounce off the boards all the way down for an icing call. Victor, you've been talking about the physicality of the first 4 minutes or so of this game, and I think Montreal's got to get the shoulders out. They've been out-hit. They got out-hit in Game 2, 46-16, and they're being out-hit in this series 90-34 so far.
Yeah, quite something, isn't it, JP?
Well, considering, the way we saw Montreal play against Tampa in round 1.
Canes working in the Montreal zone here, far corner against the Stankoven lineout. Montreal and Tampa Bay both had 40-plus hits in the first couple games of that series. As Montreal back in behind their own net, it's Lane Hudson. Swinging around for Matheson. I don't have the number to substantiate this claim, JP, but the feeling I get is a lot of those hits for Carolina have come off the forecheck.
Here. You're absolutely correct.
Here goes Dobson to center. In over the Hurricane line. Tries a shot off a stick. Rebounded to him off the boards. Off the pads of Freddie Anderson. And it'll go back to center for Carolina. Picked off by Matheson. That's taken away by Jordan Martinook. Fans are looking for an interference call, and they're going to get one. And the first power play of the night belongs to Montreal.
Carolina, number 5, minor penalty for interference.
Well, Rob Brindamore's looking down at the monitor on his bench. He does not like this call at all. It's a quick turnover just outside of the Montreal blue line. Jake Evans off the wall, redirects the puck to himself. Jalen Chatfield gets caught flat-footed and just leans into Evans. Walks him back in his heels. The arm goes up. Canadians are off to the power play. 0 for 2 in Game 2, 23.2% for the playoffs for the Habs.
There's not been a power play goal yet in this series, JP.
No, nothing in the last 2 games.
Hurricanes win the D-zone face-off. Can't get it out. Caulfield back up high to Lane Hudson. Far side, Demidov tries to swing it down low. That's cut off by Sean Walker. And he'll carry it all the way up. Stripped of it in the Montreal zone. And Montreal back it over the Carolina blue line. That's broken up. And the Canes send it down the length of the ice for Dobish.
There's another example of the Canes. They did such a good job holding the blue line. Make it so difficult for you to get in and get any kind of traction.
Habs drop it to Suzuki. In over the line with speed. Demidov tried to pass it off. He gave it right to Aho. That's played out to center. Habs got a tag up again. 1:10 still to go in this 5-on-4. It's ripped in by Caulfield. Anderson out. Slows it down. Unable to stop it, though, and the Habs get on it. Slavkovsky pass to the far side. No one home, and here go the Canes out to center. 2-on-2. Far side, Nikishin with a shot that glances off of Lane Hudson and well wide.
It's an interesting decision by Jarvis. Looked like it could have been a 2-on-1 with Cole Caulfield on the back check, and instead Jarvis decides to peel off. It ends up being a one-man shot.
Now Jankowski gets it in the Montreal zone. Back there with Nikishin. This is broken up by the Habs. They'll slow it down. 36 seconds left in their power play, and they have not been threatening yet. 13:45 to go in this first period. No score in Game 3. Here goes Texier to center. Second unit on the ice. Near side, broken up by Carolina, trying to clear it. Stopped by Texier. Suzuki to the net. His shot blocked in front. Bulldog with a try. That's stopped by Freddie Anderson, and he'll hang on tight for the whistle.
That's the type of play that you want to see from Bulldog. He can always be a wild card out there. We watched him shooting pucks in warm-up. He shoots it so well. We knew he's been a 50-plus goal scorer in junior hockey. He just goes to the net here, finds the rebound that gets caught in Kirby Dach's skates. And then it's Dach who stands up. That's Walker that he stands up, rocks him on his heels, knocks him on his backside.
I like the start for Dach, JP.
There's nothing not to like about it. Kirby Dach out being physical. When Kirby Dach is physical, it gets him into the game.
Dach will try and win this face-off. Blocker side on Anderson, but the Canes sweep it away. And Jordan Martinook will play it off the boards and out down the ice. That's going to be it here for the Montreal power play. Chatfield will step back onto the ice. So Canadians were 0 for 1, 0 for 5 in the series, as Texier flips it in. Sean Walker on the retrieval. Up the far side, swatted out by Jordan Stahl. He's got 18 hits through 2 games in this series. That leads all players between these two teams. As the Habs reload, come in from center. Deneau tried to flutter it out in front. Broken up by Carolina. And they'll look ahead to center. Stick breaks though on Slavin. And that created a turnover. The Habs try to capitalize on it here. Look out, Mike Matheson gets freight trained by Walker. Back to his feet though. Matheson put the shot wide of the net. And it comes all the way back to center. Canadians all the way back to their own zone now, completing a line change. Once again, it's Jake Evans on the ice, although this time he's got Josh Anderson and Joe Veleno out there with him. As Veleno tips it in from center. Anderson in on the forecheck. Shoved off the puck. So it comes around for Gostisbehere. To the far side, handled by Jackson Blake. Good pass to center for Stan Coleman. Down the right side, there's a shot that's redirected, and it goes out of play off the stick of Caden Gooley. 11:58 to go in our first period of play in Game 3. The Canadians get a power play, can't score on it, and we stay tied at 0 on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
I'm with a Habs fan. Heading into the next game, what are you hoping for?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about winning battles, winning draws, and winning tickets.
Tickets?
Yeah, Desjardins has this contest to win tickets. You put your name in, give yourself a chance, and you live with the result, you know?
You heard it, Desjardins members. Enter the Take Your Shot contest for a chance to win 2 tickets to the next Habs home game. Contest details and entry at desjardins.com/Habs. Conditions apply.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
Are you moving, downsizing, or upsizing your home? Say goodbye to moving woes. Visit Depodium Mini Entrepot and store your items safely until your big day arrives. Try 4 weeks free. Limited units available. Details at Depodium.com.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back inside Bell Center. 11:58 to go in the first period of Game 1. Tied at 0 in Montreal. JP, what a week it was for Montreal sports. The Habs Grand Prix weekend, but also the Victoire Walter Cup champs for the first time in franchise history this week. They're being honored right now at the Bell Center.
Well, it's the first time that the Walter Cup comes to Canada. Minnesota Frost had won the first two. And you can see Mary-Philip Poulet having a chat. Looks like she's staying well hydrated. The rest of the teammates.
I don't think there's any lack of hydration going on with that group over the last few days.
It looked like they're having a lot of fun. Well-deserved.
No doubt about it.
Danielle Sauvageau is their general manager.
Yep.
They've had some kind of run.
Head coach Corey Chevary. We got a face-off here in the Montreal zone. Puck is won by Carolina. Fed back to the line. Stepping in with a wrister. That doesn't get through. Here's Nikishin with a try. That took a redirected front as well. Here's Cy Jankowski goes down. William Carrier gets it along the near corner. Back in front, Jankowski over to Gostisbehere, and they score! And once again, it's this fourth line for Carolina. They manufacture the chance. Gostisbehere is alone in front. He puts it home to put the cage up 1-0.
Well, this puck comes out of the corner over to Dobesh's left-hand side. It comes out to Jankowski. Jankowski fires it, and it takes a bit of an unusual bounce, and it goes off of Kirby Dach's stick directly over to Shane Gostisbehere, who had walked down the left-hand side of the ice, and it's a quick finish. Carolina up 1.
That is the first of the postseason for Shane Gostisbehere. And once again, JP, that fourth line is becoming a real story here for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh, they have indeed. And, Carrier with the physicality, Jankowski as well. He had 2 assists in games, too. Robinson is pacing his team with 2 goals in the third round.
So the Hurricanes put the first goal up again as we got 11:20 to go in this first period of play. It'll be Gostisbehere from Jankowski and Robinson at 8:24 as the Habs played all the way down ice. This will go for an icing call.
Oh, this is an unforced error by the Canadiens. This puck comes up the middle of the ice, and it was labeled for Newhook, just couldn't get a stick on it.
So I got a guess for you, JP.
Yes.
You tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. Rod Brendamore said he wasn't going to reveal what his team talked about in video, but they talked a lot about it. My guess was shutting down Montreal's transition.
Yeah, well, listen, the Canadiens did it so well in Game 1, didn't they? And there has to be the understanding that the Canadiens are going to want to show a little bit of team speed this evening. They're going to be able to hold the Canadiens deep in their own zone. It's going to give you the best opportunity to control that transition.
D-zone face-off for Montreal. They win it. So they try and stretch out Carolina a couple times here so far, but they've iced it on both occasions. We saw them have about 5 breakaways in Game 1. As here goes Newhook speeding down the far side. He's bumped off the puck, though, by Chatfield. And it's played out to center by Carolina. Puck gets away from Jake Evans. It's caught up by Jacob Slavin, and he gives it away off the far side. Bit of a panic play there. Slavin will recover. Pitching in from the line. Struble unable to hold it in. Back down the ice to the Montreal zone. Newhook takes it away. And now Lane Hudson busting ahead, but Newhook is just going to shoot it in as he gets flattened after the fact by Jordan Martinook. Canadiens near side at center, taken away by Martinook. He'll pass it off. That's intercepted by Dobson. Now up to center. Here's Nick Suzuki back off the board. Slavkovsky chops at it. That goes out of play with 10:01 to go in our first period of play.
A little bit quiet here in the Bell Center. We saw Eric Robinson score the first goal the other night down in Carolina. Fourth line comes through again with this time Gostisbehere getting on the back end of all the work that the fourth line had done down in the corner.
Face off in the neutral zone. Shots 5-2 Carolina in the early going. Score 1-0 Hurricanes. As As Jordan Stahl's going to get waved out. It'll be Martinook versus Philip Deneau. And Deneau snaps it back. Dobson over to Matheson. Back ahead for Deneau. Into the Carolina zone. Drops it back to the line. Here's Matheson. Shot sails wide. Back in front off the rebound. Canadians can't get it through. Now Texier cycles it down low. Collected by Keandre Miller. Played around for Ehlers. Canes can't get out of the zone here. Now they lift it off the glass and it goes out. As Matheson will get back to it first in his own zone. Now spun off the boards. Matheson ahead to center. Here's Suzuki. Down the near side on Gostisbehere. Stops. Feeds it back up top. Carrier in front. Got the redirect from Slavkovsky, but it doesn't go. And Carolina move it back down ice as Taylor Hall gets to it behind the Montreal net.
Had Anderson well out of the net. That's a tap in. Just can't get it home for Slavkovsky.
Right idea for Montreal. Here they come again over the blue line. This time they're going to be whistled down offside. So Shane Gostisbehere opens up the goal scoring in Game 3. Slavkovsky nearly gets one back for Montreal. 1-0 on 1-0 Carolina here on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? Tackle? Slide tackle?
Yep.
Penalty kick? Bicycle kick? Every celebration?
Watch every moment with 5 TV with RDS and more sports channels. Plus 500 internet. All for $99 a month. Includes autopay credit. Visit bell.ca for more details and to check availability. Bell. Connection is everything.
For the first time in a decade, the NHL returns to the great outdoors of Winnipeg.
The Heritage Classic.
October 25th, Mark Scheifele and the Winnipeg Jets face off against Nick Suzuki and the Montreal Canadiens. Outdoors at Princess Auto Stadium in the Tim Hortons NHL Heritage Classic.
Get that outdoor feel in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Don't miss your chance to experience hockey outdoors live.
Hockey under the sky.
Get your tickets now at NHL.com/Heritage Classic.
Are you looking for an insurance broker, passionate and professional? With 65 years of experience, SO Insurance has proven to be totally dedicated to serving its clients. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, their brokers have one priority: to find you the best offer available to insure your home, car, and all other types of motorized vehicles. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
The home of your Montreal Canadiens. TSN 690.
8:51 to go in the first period. 1-0 lead for the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 3 as the Canadians are trying to get a grasp of this game again, JP. They almost got it with a tap-in from Slavkovsky that goes off the outside of the goal.
Well, it was so very near. It was Nick Suzuki with a heads-up play back to the point, finds Texier coming in across the blue line, and it's Slavkovsky camped out in front of Anderson. Anderson's got no choice. He's got to come in, and he's got to cut that play down, but it allows for that pass off of Slavkovsky's skate and ends up catching the left post.
Got a whistle here at center as we'll re-rack for this face-off in the neutral zone. So Shane Gostisbehere with the first goal tonight. A bit of a French connection here on both sides, JP. Of course, Texier is from France. Shane Gostisbehere's dad, Reggie, is originally from France as well. And as a result, Shane Gostisbehere has dual citizenship.
Sorry, did you say Reggie?
Reggie?
It's got to be Regis, doesn't it?
No, it's R-E-G-I-S, right?
Oh, Regis.
That's Regis.
Yeah.
Regis. From Basque Country.
Oh, is he really? How about that?
Canadians in on the attack. Here's Gooley. Long shot with traffic in front. That's stopped by Anderson. And he will hang on to that.
A little bit of traffic, net front. And if Anderson doesn't catch this puck perfectly, Veleno is right there. No chance that anybody else is getting except Veleno. But Anderson manages to hang on with his glove as that shot comes in. It's a heavy one from Gooley. And it's in the right location. Anderson sees it. I'm not sure if he sees it into his glove, but he gets his glove in the right spot. Makes the save.
By the way, the internet tells me it is Regis. By the way, his dad, what's interesting about him is that his dad was a professional Jai player.
Highlight.
Highlight?
You
Here we
correct
go
me on
again.
Ibishi, and
All right.
I'll correct you on
Here's Lane
Jai-Lai.
Hudson down the near side, drops it back for Demidov. He cranked one right off the Carolina defender, and down the ice it goes. Jai-Lai. How about that, eh?
Highlight.
The
The J is silent, like in Finnish.
Of course you would know that. You would be all over it, JP. That's a sport I've clearly never called before. As here goes Newhook in off the far side. Back down low behind the Montreal net. And all the way out to center ice. Struble. Back to neutral territory. Walker bumps Demidov. And the Carolina Hurricanes go back into their own zone. Far side boards by the hash marks. Here's Keandre Miller. He knocks over Jake Evans. As Carolina settle down the puck and flip it out through center ice. Little backspin on it here with 7.5 to play in the first.
So that'll allow Carolina to get a full line change in.
Now here's Juraj Slavkovsky from center. Steps in over the line, tried a shot, never got through. Near side, Suzuki. Passed over to Caulfield. He got run over. As the Hurricanes go back to center, Jarvis cross ice. Force Svechnikov near side. Stops at the hash marks. Back to Aho. That skipped on him. Here are the Habs. 3 skaters through center. That's bobbled by Suzuki. It was almost offside.
And Josh Anderson was looking for a stretch pass to go in on a breakaway.
Canadians are clearly looking for transition offense tonight, but haven't found any thus far. As here's Matheson at center. Drops it back for Suzuki. Far side. Into the Carolina zone. Down low. Canes get to it. Jackson Blake forwards it ahead to center. Alexander Nikishin. Far side. He's run into the linesman by Josh Anderson. Hurricanes down low. Taylor Hall. Passes all the way to the point. Here's Nikishin's shot. That one took a redirect in front just wide. Now a big hit from Suzuki. He got a piece of Blake. And that one hurt. Back to the line. Here's Nikishin. That's an easy save for Dobish. No traffic in front. And Blake goes over to Josh Anderson to give him a bit of a shot. But a rare big hit from Nick Suzuki, JP.
Well, Nick Suzuki has the weight to do it. He's a square player. Don't see him wasting a lot of energy going after hits. But we have seen him drop the shoulder on a couple of occasions here. And that's a perfect one that we just witnessed. There's an understanding as well by Dobesh on that last sequence as the puck comes in on him. He takes the whistle. Nate Gooley had broken his stick, had gone over to the bench to get a new one. Canadians temporarily were a man down.
This will be a face-off to the glove-hand side of Jakub Dobish. And Philip Deneau will square off against Mark Jankowski. Played all the way out to center off the draw. Here's Texier down the far side of the Carolina zone. Drops it off. Carrier back to Texier in the corner. Philip Deneau down low. Back up the far side. Carrier behind the net for Deneau. Deneau looking for options. He'll pass it back to Gooley. Left point. Rolled around the boards. Doc behind the net. Doc to the near side. Push to the boards. Comes away with the puck. Directed to the line. Gooley shot. His stick snapped in two. Bad break for the Canadians. Although Gooley's able to get off here.
That's 2 in a shift for Gooley.
And the Hurricanes control it in their own end. 5:16 to go in the first. 1-0 Carolina. Sean Walker. Played down the near side. Jordan Stahl ridden into the boards by Struble. Deep into half territory. Demidov behind his own net. Trying to go up the far side. That's chopped away by Carolina. Now Martinook piles into Struble near side. Canes play it down low. Ehlers bounces it over. Out in front, it comes right to Newhook. And here he goes through center. Full speed ahead, Newhook. In on Nikishin, who's able to cut him off. As they both go into the near side corner.
It's an impressive burst from Nikishin as he catches up and keeps pace with Newhook.
Now here's Matheson. Shot scores! working out in front. Mike Matheson in from the line, and it's tied at 1 in Game 3.
What a bullet from Matheson. As the Canadians win a board battle, Jake Evans chips this puck over to Demidov. As he comes around the side of the net, Mike Matheson's calling for it right onto his stick, top of the circle, short side, beats Freddie Anderson with pace with a shot just under the bar.
That was a snipe from Mike Matheson, and at Pointe Claire, Quebec. Now that was labeled for the top corner on Freddie Anderson. Mike Matheson, second of the postseason, has tied the game from Demidov and Evans at 15-28 in this first period. Hurricanes back on the attack. Jarvis throws it down low. Aho all the way to the point. Shot is redirected wide of the Montreal net. Here's Matheson, head to center for Cole Caulfield. Taken away by Carolina. Canes back down the near side. Andrei Svechnikov through the slot, flings it on net. That's flagged down and frozen by Jakub Dobish. 3:50 to go in this first period. Habs are back in it, so are the fans. Mike Matheson has tied Game 3 on Habs Hockey on TSN 6-9.
Montreal is in the conference finals, and Fans First has tickets for every game. Buy directly from season ticket holders with no fees. Fans First, a Canadian company made by fans for fans. Get your tickets today at fansfirst.ca.
Voisin knows everything tastes better after a win. This playoff season, when the Habs take the win, the celebration continues at Voisin. Swing by the following day for a free small Bleu Blanc Rouge slush. Voisin, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Details and conditions in store.
Abrysvo is an RSV vaccine. 60 or over? Talk to your healthcare provider about Pfizer's Abrysvo. Visit abrysvo.ca.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee, made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
Montreal, the moment you've all been waiting for. Teddy Swims, The Ugly Tour. October 7th at the Bell Center. Get your tickets at teddyswims.com.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back inside Bell Center. 3:50 to go in the first. 1-1 tie thanks to Mike Matheson, JP.
Well, Mike Matheson had a goal in Game 2. It was a game winner again in the Buffalo series. That was the only one he's had this playoff series until that last moment where you could clearly see that he wanted the puck. As soon as Demidov got it, he was calling for it, and he gets it. It's off of his stick, and no way that Freddie Anderson's going to be able to catch up with a puck that's that accurate with that much pace on it.
Face-off glove side on Dobish. Hurricanes win it back. Miller, cross-seam pass, spots Jackson Blake. Carries it up high. Throws it down low. Miller in from the line. Centers! And they score! Taylor Hall puts it home on the doorstep for Carolina. As Keandre Miller set him up, Taylor Hall bangs it in, and it's 2-1 Hurricanes.
Well, there's a second line that finally gets going. Taylor Hall is going to get his fourth goal of the playoffs, and this is a play that starts up just by the Canadiens bench. It gets fired into the corner over to Jakub Dobesh's glove side and then fed back out. It's Carrier and Danault who get mixed up net front, and it's Hall who just finds the angle that he needs to slide that puck past Dobesh and allow the Canes to take a 2-1 lead on their 8th shot of the period.
So there's the first goal in this round for that second line, and it doesn't happen without the play from Keandre Miller, but Taylor Hall gets the goal for Miller and Blake at 16-21, and the Canes are back on top in Game 3. As the Habs work it in their own zone, it's taken away by Carolina. They got their fourth line back on the ice. As Montreal drive out to center. And there's going to be a whistle here for a glove pass with 3:16 to go in the period. So Taylor Hall has become a bit of a story too, JP. Despite that being just his first goal in the series, he was a physical menace in Game 2 for the Hurricanes.
Well, he's been a physical menace all of this playoff series. In the first round, we saw the hit that he had on Jake Sanderson. Pretty much ended Sanderson's playoff. And I think there was a lot of Canadiens fans weren't too happy to see the run that he took at Lane Hudson. Lane Hudson goes down, comes up a little bit lame, looks okay tonight, though.
As with it at center, Doc gets plowed by a William Carrier. As the Habs go back into their own zone with possession. Hudson ahead for Zach Bolduc. Over for Dobson through the middle, tries a shot, works in on Anderson, and a bit of a weak play by Freddie Anderson, but it gets to where it needs to go for Carolina, and that's all the way out through center. And they've iced the puck here, matter of fact, 2:44 to go in the first.
Well, no change available for Carolina. Marty St. Louis is going to send over Slafkovsky and Suzuki alongside Caulfield. Here's the thing that I want to pay close attention to, though, on that last play. The Canadiens once again got caught 3 men deep in the zone. The puck comes back to the point. There's a pinch that is made. And if that doesn't go all the way down from an icing, that could have been an odd man situation for Carolina. We've seen it happen at least 2 or 3 times here in the first period where the Canadiens have been caught. It's going to be something that Canadiens are going to have to pay close attention to.
Carolina up to center. It's chipped in by William Carrier. Goes after Alex Carrier in the far side corner. Matheson gets dumped. As they battle for it near side. Alexandre Carrier checked by Jordan Martinook. Held up behind the Montreal net here. Puck is wedged up along the boards. And it's muscled free right to Sean Walker. Near side faceoff dot. Little weak shot in on Dobish. No trouble. Matheson broke his stick in front. Stahl's got the puck. Feeds it over to Ehlers. Canes will take their time here. Again, still no stick for Matheson. Up top, there's a shot from Walker. That hit traffic in front. Now Matheson's got Slafkovsky's stick. Should be some good reach on that. As here's Stahl back to the line for Miller. Miller passes over. Walker's shot goes off a body. That's a good bounce from Montreal. Out of play. And they will get a line change here, and everyone's going to have a stick in their hand for this faceoff.
Well, we've seen that happen a couple of times this evening already. Saw Kate Gooley break 2 on the same shift. Mike Matheson, thankfully for Canadiens fans, his stick stayed in one piece when he finished his goal off, but looks like the one that he scored with is now being delivered back to the bench in 2 pieces.
1:43 to go in the first period. 2-1 Carolina lead. Out shooting Montreal 10-5. So we'll drop the puck blocker side on Dobish. It goes right back to him. And the Habs ringing around the boards, looking for transition here. It'll be Newhook who gets it deep in the Carolina zone. And it's spun all the way around back to center. And look out, here goes Sebastian Aho through the middle. Svechnikov with a shot. Big stop from Jakub Dobish. Ranges over to take that away off the one-timer. Hurricanes with it back far side. Shot redirection front to late. Penalty upcoming. It's going to be on Montreal. And Freddie Anderson's going to go back to the Carolina bench for the extra attacker. Aho, near side wing. Into the Montreal zone. He's brought down. He'll spin it off the boards back for Nikishin. Loose in the middle. That's an easy touch for Newhook, but the Canadiens are about to go short-handed with 59 seconds to go in the first.
This is an interference call on Caden Gooley.
Montreal, number 21, minor penalty for interference.
So Carolina will take their first power play of the evening as Caden Gooley heads off to the bench as he gets tangled up alongside Svechnikov. Canes power play operating at 11.9%. They've had no power play goals in their last 3 games.
Hurricanes 0 for 5 in the series. Again, their power play has been relatively weak in this postseason, up just 11.9%. We face off blocker side on Dobish. Face-off win for Carolina. Miller cranks a one-timer. That's stopped by Dobish. Hastily picked up by Matheson trying to clear. Miller holds it in. Played right back down to Matheson, and the second time he's able to get it all the way down the ice. No trouble. Keandre Miller in his own zone. Works it up to center ice. And he's going to go for a skate. Right in. Left side with a shot. He flutters that off the mark. Habs were playing the drop the whole way. Miller never did it. Here goes Taylor Hall right side. Centering try. Ends up caught in a maze of sticks. Back to the line for Carolina. Far side wing now. Bringing it in toward the net. Blake with a shot. That's stopped by Dobish. And still loose. Miller passes over. Gets it back with a shot and put it back across and wide. Ehlers holds it in. Just 3 seconds to go in the period. Blake through the middle. One last try from Stankoven. Doesn't go. And the first period ends with Carolina still in the power play for another 61 seconds.
Well, it's another flurry by Carolina as Nicky Ehlers has a great keep-in that allows Carolina to get one last look. But you come back just a few seconds prior to that. Svechnikov takes a one-time pass from Sebastian Aho. And if not for a miraculous push over to the left post, Dobesh getting his glove out, the Canadiens could have easily been down 2.
Shane Goss to spare with the opening goal tonight. 8:24 into the first period. Matheson answers back, and then Taylor Hall puts Carolina back up 2-1. That is the story through 20 minutes of play in Montreal. We got the first intermission roundtable coming your way next. And the first intermission roundtable is brought to you by Fans First. Tickets for every game you need. Buy directly from season ticket holders. No additional fees. Fansfirst.ca. After 20 in Montreal, 2-1 Carolina on Habs Hockey at TSN 690.
Hi, it's Ken Connors. When I need to take a little break from keeping up with the news, you know what I do? I go get my Habs fix and I check in with Campbell versus Gallo. Sean and Mitch cover everything from why the team has a hard time protecting a lead to who should be playing on the first line with Nick and Cole. It's a great hang for any fan. They've got your hot takes, your Habs lunch. It's simply hockey heaven. Campbell versus Gallo, drop by any weekday morning after 10 like I do here on TSN 690.
This ad is paid for and approved by Campbell versus Gallo and unpaid associates.
I've always wondered what kind of tires they put on the Zamboni.
I bet they're not summer tires.
Maybe all season?
I doubt it.
Yeah, good point.
Point S, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Jeez, feels like the Habs are always on the road.
I hope they have good tires.
They fly.
Yeah, good point.
Point S. Until June 30th, get $100 on a prepaid card when you buy 4 eligible Hankook tires. Details at points.ca.
The Montreal Canadiens Fan Jam, presented by Lacache, comes to life for the playoffs. Be there for the biggest outdoor party in the city, featuring tattoos, a barber, food, drinks, and more. Rain or shine, join us at the Canadiens Plaza next to the Bell Center before home games only. Free admission, but first come, first served. Experience the playoff frenzy with the most passionate fans. Get all the details at playoffs.canadiens.com.
Are you looking for a damage insurance broker that specializes in commercial insurance? There is only one name, SR Insurance. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, SR Insurance brokers are the perfect advisors for you. With more than 65 years experience, SR Insurance is proud of its team of brokers who stand out for their ability to select the best products for your business. Call 833-370-2704 or visit sr.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? Tackle? Slide tackle?
Yep.
Penalty kick? Bicycle kick? Every celebration?
Watch every moment with 5TV with RDS and more sports channels. Plus 500 internet. All for $99 a month. Includes autopay credit. Visit bell.ca for more details and to check availability. Bell. Connection is everything.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
The first intermission is brought to you by Wegovy. Ask your doctor for Wegovy by name and visit wegovy.ca for savings. Some exclusions may apply.
Near side, Jankowski goes down. William Carrier gets it along the near corner. Back in front, Jankowski over to Gostisbehere, and they score! And once again, it's this fourth line for Carolina. They manufacture the chance. Gostisbehere is alone in front. He puts it home to put the Canes up 1-0.
Well, this puck comes out of the corner over to Dobesh's left-hand side. It comes out to Jankowski. Jankowski fires it, and it takes a bit of an unusual bounce. And it goes off of Kirby Dach's stick directly over to Shane Gostisbehere, who had walked down the left-hand side of the ice, and it's a quick finish. Carolina up 1. It's an impressive burst from Nikishin as he catches up and keeps pace with Newell.
Now here's Matheson, shot, scores! Mom's working out in front. Mike Matheson in from the line. And it's tied at 1 in Game 3. Spots Jackson Blake. Carries it up high. Throws it down low. Miller in from the line. Centers. And they score. Taylor Hall puts it home on the doorstep for Carolina. As Keandre Miller set him up, Taylor Hall bangs it in, and it's 2-1 Hurricanes. And it's spun all the way around back to center. And look out, here goes Sebastian Aho through the middle. Svechnikov with a shot. Big stop from Jakub Dobeš. Welcome back to Montreal Canadiens hockey on TSN 690. I'm Mitch Gallo with Peter Vrionis. The Canadiens trail the Carolina Hurricanes 2-1 after the first period of play. Your first period scoring summary. It is 8:24. Shane Gostisbehere with his first of the postseason from Mark Jankowski and Eric Robinson. Then the Canadiens answer at 15:28. Mike Matheson, his second from Ivan Demidov and Jake Evans. And then at 16:22, Carolina regains the lead. Taylor Hall's fourth, with Keandre Miller and Jackson Blake getting the assists. It is time for the first intermission roundtable here in the broadcast booth. We have JP O'Connor and Sean Campbell. And I mentioned Peter Vrionis back at the controls at Mitch Gallo. JP, for starters, disaster period for the Canadiens. Carolina completely played their game, and they dominated them. Montreal lucky that they're only trailing by 1.
No, I don't disagree with that. And I think you look at the fourth line, Mitch, and the job that they do. And what do they do best? They work in the corners, and that's how they generate that opportunity. Gostisbehere ends up getting on the end of a fortunate bounce, albeit, but still, it's a play that comes out of the corner. It's a battle that is won by Carolina. I don't like the second goal either with Taylor Hall. There's miscommunication net front. Taylor Hall ends up getting to the back post, but where it really starts is where Keandre Miller skates down the wall, and he gets in behind Josh Anderson, who just loses track of him just for enough time for Miller to get the puck on his backhand, get the angle that he needs, and get it over to the net front where it can be battled for. Hall ends up coming up with that puck, but I think it's kind of two unforced errors by Montreal, who just can't afford to give up freebies.
I did, before we get to Campbell, I did want to ask you about the first goal as well, because, JP, that's a situation I'm just baffled by, right? Because the two defensemen have two players sealed off behind the net.
Correct.
Poleno has the player net front. Bolduc has the guy on the left point. Gostisbehere's creeping in on the left side. What's Doc doing going and trying to swarm the same guy that Veleno seems to have in control?
Yeah, well, listen, Mitch, if that puck ends up making it to the net, we're not talking about it, but it does take the weird bounce and ends up over on Gostisbehere's stick. And listen, that's the reality of it. So Doc is going to have to answer for that, but when he does, in fact, come into the danger area, you're coming back hoping that you're going to be able to help lift the stick or find a rebound that Dobeš is going to be able to cover up. But it just backfires on you, and it ends up on Gostisbehere's stick for his first of the postseason.
It's 2 goals on the miscommunication of the man-to-man defense, right? Where Doc, he's like, okay, I'm going to get there and intercept, but I leave my guy alone. And then Anderson doesn't go step by step with Keandre Miller.
Anderson, it's a late reaction, right?
Yeah, but that's playing the man-to-man right there.
It is, but and here's what the wingers understand about Carolina. is that when the puck gets into Montreal zone and there's any kind of possession, you know that your defensemen are going to activate, so your head has to be constantly moving around. Yes, you got to keep an eye on where the puck is, but you also have to know where your players are diving to. Keandre Miller's had a pretty successful postseason so far. He's got a bunch of assists in the series, and every time he's going to get an opportunity, he's going to be diving down.
Go ahead, Peter.
Just wanted to ask about the forecheck for the Carolina Hurricanes. Why do you think the Canadiens are having so much trouble exiting their zone? Do you think it could come down to maybe personnel, maybe having the wrong D partners on the ice together that aren't necessarily conducive for getting it out of Montreal's end?
Well, first of all, Pete, I think that you have to tip your hat to Carolina, and they're executing what they want to execute. They've done it all year. This is not something new that they're creating, and it's not catching Montreal off guard. Now, shame on Montreal for knowing what's coming and not getting in the way of some of the forecheckers. I think the Canadiens, quite frankly, are going to be fine. But the big if is if they're able to collect a puck clean and get their bodies facing the middle of the ice. Anytime, Pete, that you're looking at the boards or you're looking at the glass, that is the trigger that Carolina is using to activate everybody, and that's when that Canadiens end up getting pinned in. So whether it's the communication from Dobesh, whether it's Dobesh being able to get out and stop a puck, maybe setting it up for a defender, or the Canadiens forwards skating in front of the oncoming forecheck, something has to get done so that the Canadiens can exit the zone. Because the minute that they get the puck under control and start heading up the ice, I do think that they're going to be able to counter rather effectively.
Campbell, big minute here coming up on the PK. They can kill it off. Maybe they can get a little momentum out of the break.
Yeah, they just need that one opportunity, and they ended up with 5 shots. They did have some dangerous opportunities or some pucks in and around the net, but it's about capitalizing, right? They had 12 shots last game, 7 from the slot that were dangerous. You have to up those numbers. Yes, you're going to be a low shot total, but you need to have a high percentage for danger area. I do think Anderson is beatable here. Definitely beatable. And just to get to your point, JP, the game 1 north-south passes that the Canadiens were clicking on, they're not clicking on.
No. Nor will they. Nor will they. I mean, or if they do, it'll be few and far between. You'll get an opportunity here and there on a breakdown, but it's not going to be the way that the Canadiens saw it in game 1, where it was a free-for-all out there.
And if you want, Campbell, some of those numbers, I know you're talking about pucks in and around the crease, but actual chances, the high-danger chances, 4-1 for Carolina in that period, and the expected goal share only 30% for Montreal. Bad numbers through the first period for the Canadiens. Sean, JP, thanks as always.
Appreciate it, Mitch. Thank you.
There is Sean Campbell and JP O'Connor. Peter Briones back at TSN 690 Studios. I'm Mitch Gow here at the Bell Center. The Canadiens trail the Hurricanes 2-1 after 1. Coming up next, we'll get you caught up with the out-of-town scoreboard on TSN 690.
CKGM AM is TSN 690. Live streaming and on demand on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto through the iHeartRadio Canada app.
The Montreal Canadiens Fan Jam, presented by Lacache, comes to life for the playoffs. Be there for the biggest outdoor party in the city, featuring tattoos, a barber, food, drinks, and more. Rain or shine, join us at the Canadiens Plaza next to the Bell Center before home games only. Free admission, but first come, first served. Experience the playoff frenzy with the most passionate fans. Get all the details at playoffs.canadiens.com.
Are you looking for an insurance broker, passionate and professional? With 65 years of experience, SO Insurance has proven to be totally dedicated to serving its clients. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, their brokers have one priority: to find you the best offer available to insure your home, car, and all other types of motorized vehicles. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
For the first time in a decade, the NHL returns to the great outdoors of Winnipeg.
The Heritage Classic.
October 25th, Mark Scheifele and the Winnipeg Jets face off against Nick Suzuki and the Montreal Canadiens. Outdoors at Princess Auto Stadium in the Tim Hortons NHL Heritage Classic.
Get that outdoor feel in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Don't miss your chance to experience hockey outdoors live.
Hockey under the sky.
Get your tickets now at NHL.com/Heritage Classic.
The biggest superstar in country music, Luke Combs, presents his My Kind of Saturday Night Tour with special guests, May 29th and 30th at Parc Jean Drapeau. Tickets on sale now at lukecombs.com.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee, made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
This is Montreal Canadiens hockey on your home of the Habs, TSN 690.
Welcome back to Montreal Canadiens hockey on TSN 690. I hope you enjoyed the First Intermission Roundtable. First Intermission Roundtable always brought to you by Fans First. Tickets for every game you need. Buy directly from season ticket holders. No additional fees. fansfirst.ca. Let's get you caught up with the out-of-town scoreboard. And obviously, not a ton happening right now as far as the National Hockey League is concerned. But you do have the World Hockey Championship. A couple finals. How about this? Norway beats Czechia by a score of 4-1. It was the United States over Hungary. That one finished 7-3. Germany tops Great Britain 6-3. And Slovenia with a 5-1 win over Italy. Of course, TSN, your home for the World Hockey Championship as we await Team Canada's next game, which will be coming up tomorrow. Canada taking on Czechia on TSN at 2:20. All right, there's your out-of-town scoreboard. Coming up next year on TSN 690, second period play between Carolina and Montreal. Victor Finley and JP O'Connor with the call. Habs trail 2-1.
Montreal is in the conference finals, and Fans First has tickets for every game. Buy directly from season ticket holders with no fees. Fans First, a Canadian company made by fans for fans. Get your tickets today at fansfirst.ca.
I'm with a Habs fan. Heading into the next game, what are you hoping for?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about winning battles, winning draws, and winning tickets.
Tickets?
Yeah, Desjardins has this contest to win tickets. Yeah, put your name in, give yourself a chance, and you live with the result, you know?
You heard it, Desjardins members. Enter the Take Your Shot contest for a chance to win 2 tickets to the next Habs home game. Contest details and entry at desjardins.com/Habs. Conditions apply.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? Tackle? Slide tackle?
Yep.
Penalty kick? Bicycle kick? Every celebration?
Watch every moment with 5TV with RDS and more sports channels. Plus 500 internet. All for $99 a month. Includes autopay credit. Visit bell.ca for more details and to check availability. Bell. Connection is everything.
Trade tariffs, quotas, changing customs regulations. It's a lot, but you don't have to manage it alone. Delmar's customs brokerage experts help you stay compliant, reduce costs, and trade with confidence. Visit delmarcargo.com. Delmar, logistics made simple.
Third round against Carolina. The pace is picking up. The pressure is on. And Quebec is ready. For tonight's game, it's Lafleur. For every goal, it's Lafleur. Overtime, it's Lafleur. Lafleur, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens and the Hot Dog of Champions since 1912.
The home of your Montreal Canadiens, TSN 690.
Welcome back inside the Bell Center. About 30 seconds away from puck drop in the second period of Game 3 between the Habs and Hurricanes. Victor Finley with JP O'Connor on the call tonight as we get set for the second stanza. And the Habs get outshot again, 15-5, and they will be shorthanded to begin the second period.
Well, that was a textbook period, wasn't it, for Carolina as they come out. They're able to roll the 4 lines. It's what Rod Brindamore has wanted to do. They've been able to get on the forecheck, create off of it offensively. The flow has been solid for them as well, and they'll see if they can continue up as they start on the power play.
Aho will take the face-off. He's out there with Ehlers, Gostisbehere, Jarvis, and Svechnikov. First unit for Carolina. Evans, Newhook, Matheson, Carrier for Montreal. As the Habs move left to right in the second period, and we begin with the Carolina face-off win. Here is Ehlers. Off on the far side, Jarvis to the Montreal zone. Back for Svechnikov. His shot redirects off of Jake Evans. It's high out of play.
I'm surprised Evans is not checking his stick as that puck takes a deflection off of his stick.
We've already seen one bad bounce off of Doc's stick, and that led to Carolina's first of the night. This one is a much more favorable bounce for the Canadiens out of play and will face off to the glove hand side of Jakub Dobiš. Canadiens win it back and shovel it all the way out to the Carolina zone.
Carrier makes no mistake as he collects that puck behind the net, rims it all the way down behind Anderson.
Now here goes Nick Ehlers. Who's center for Carolina, move to the inside. There's the shot. Dobiš all over that, makes the save and covers up.
There's an electricity around Nick Ehlers as he gets that puck. He actually fans on this pass. The intention was to kick it out to the sidewall, and he fans on it, ends up collecting it, but makes such a good mistake that he clears the Canadiens defender out of the way, gets in on Dobiš, who has to make a beautiful save. Spills the rebound, but ends up covering up.
Face-off win back in the Montreal zone for the Canadiens. Can't get it out, though. Ehlers up top. Stripped to the puck by Matheson. It played off the boards and out. Again, we're seeing the wheels on Ehlers tonight. Denmark has never won a medal in figure skating, but if Ehlers decided that was going to be his discipline, he'd have a great shot at it. As the Canadiens are back to full strength, Gooley is out of the box. Into the Montreal zone, far side, Keandre Miller at the blue line. Passes down low for Jordan Martinook. Picked up by Ehlers. Back to Walker, there's a hard shot blocked by Philip Deneau. And Deneau gets it away. Out to center with Josh Anderson. It'll be flipped in behind the Carolina net. Played back to center though by Martinook. Take it away. Back to the Carolina zone by Miller. And he'll fire it up the near side. That's tipped in by Jordan Staal. Dobiš out to play it. Back up the near wing. And this is flubbed by Dobson, but recovered by Jake Evans. And he'll skate in behind his own net. Tried to filter it out. Again, can't get the puck out to center. It bounces off a Carolina player, though, and gets out to neutral territory as Hall plays it in.
That's a pretty fortunate bounce for Montreal. They had made a hash out of that, trying to get out of their zone.
Here's Evans. Moved over to Lane Hudson again. Broken up. Here's Jackson Blake. Good back check by Jake Evans. Might have just saved a goal. And again gave it away. But Carolina with Stankovic playing right back. And here's Hudson out to center. He'll shoot it in. That's 4 giveaways on that shift for Montreal in their own zone.
Yeah, we're only 3 minutes into the period.
Canadiens deep in Carolina territory. Behind the net, Slavkovsky. Lost the puck to Stankovic. He gave it away to Struble off the far side, though. Near wing. Here's Caulfield. Moves in with a shot. Not stopped by Anderson. The rebound. Struble on the doorstep. Can't get it through, and it's covered up.
Well, Struble had been crashing down, and he actually exchanged places with Caulfield, who had made his way up to the far right point, collects the puck, comes downhill, and fires this in on Anderson. Anderson is a big goaltender in that net. Not a whole lot to shoot for, so Caulfield is shooting for the rebound, and he's trying to help Struble find that puck. Ends up getting covered. That's the first decent look that we've seen out of Caulfield this game.
Carolina win the face-off. Try and play it out to center. That's jammed up along the boards by Matheson. It does trickle out to neutral territory. Canadiens gather it. Suzuki, center ice. Over the line on the right side. Drives into the corner. Spins it back around. Shot does not get through to the net. Suzuki back at the line. Hands off. Slavkovsky carries all the way to the far side with a shot. That one whistles wide. Near side, Dobson. His shot snapped up by Anderson. And he's got no problem freezing that with 16:32 to go in the second.
Well, that's better puck management by Montreal. And Juraj Slavkovsky, Nick Suzuki exchange this puck up by the blue line and allow Slavkovsky to get a little bit of speed moving over towards the bench side as he fires a wrister in on Anderson.
So face-off glove side on Freddie Anderson, and Joe Veleno's in to take it for Montreal.
3 for 5 so far for Veleno in the face-off circle.
And on Jankowski, but Jankowski will get tossed. So it's Veleno versus William Carrier, and Carrier wins it back. Hurricanes try to play it out to center. It's off a body. Now it'll be carried to center ice, and Jankowski throws it in all the way deep. Dobish out to play it. Taken away behind the net by Robinson. Wraparound try. Dobish got a stick on it. Canadians play it to center. Big hit along the far boards. William Carrier got a good piece of Kirby Dach.
Anytime Carrier is going to get close to you, he's going to make you pay.
Out at center, Lane Hudson. Moved in off the boards. Carolina corral it. Sean Walker directs it ahead. Robinson plays it in, and Carolina get a full line change. Lane Hudson, he takes a hard hit from Martinook. Puck is given away, and now there's a delayed penalty on Carolina. Lane Hudson had the stick knocked out of his hands in front, and they're going to call this slashing on Jordan Martinook.
Carolina, minor penalty, slashing.
Jordan Martinook in disbelief as he heads off to the net, to the penalty box. It was a net front battle, and as Lane Hudson is trying to establish position, Martinook is in behind him. It's a bit of a useless whack on Hudson's stick. Hudson only had one hand on it, knocks the stick clean out of his hands. See the reaction by Martinook, but there's an unforced error by Carolina.
So Montreal 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. They'll get another crack at it here.
This is the opportunity that the Canadians are looking for. Senseless penalty by Martinook. Got to capitalize.
Carolina get it out to center right off the draw. Hurricanes penalty kill is 95.5% in the postseason. They've got a shorthanded goal as well. It came from Jalen Chatfield, of all players.
A game winner as well.
That's right. As here goes Caulfield to center. In on the right side. Caulfield passes over, scores! Power play goal! Lane Hudson! And Montreal battled back to tie it again.
Well, it looks like everybody's waiting for the slingshot for that puck to come back to Nick Suzuki. But instead, Cole Caulfield gains the line, plays back and forth, and ends up getting it over onto Lane Hudson's stick. Freddie Anderson deep in his crease. Can't get over in time. That's an easy one. The Canadians make Carolina pay.
Third of the playoffs for Lane Hudson, who is factored in on 10 of Montreal's 14 power play goals, either scoring or assisting on them. Here go the Habs back in again. Demidov behind the Carolina net. Spins it around to the corner, broken up by the Canes. And out to center they go. That's Hudson for Caulfield and Jakub Dobish with a power play assist. How about that at 4:42 of the second period? We are tied at 2. In game 3 as Carolina come to center left side. Here's Taylor Hall. Through the middle, Blake lost it.
Cooley's lost his helmet.
Now far side, bouncing around in front. Dobish had fallen. Canes can't corral it, and Montreal will try and settle it down. That's knocked away though from Evans. Stolen by the Canadians again as Newhook hands it off far side. Gooley lost the handle on it. Been a bit of a nightmare here with puck management in the Montreal zone so far.
It's been a tough one here for Gooley as he loses the handle on the puck, loses the handle on his helmet.
Hurricanes have it at center. And off the far side, Seth Jarvis, wrister, he flies that one wide. Svechnikov moves it around. Aho on it. Far side, tried to play that out in front. Goes back into the slot and forced out to center. Now to Keeshan. Quickly up to center ice again. Pass intended for Aho. He tipped it, no icing. Rattled around the boards by Dobish. Here's Anderson ahead for Philip Deneau. He'll play it in. Habs with 2 goals on 8 shots. Being outshot 17-8 in this game. as they get set up off the forecheck. Near side, Texier passes it away. That could be trouble. Here goes Aho through center, looking for Jarvis. That gets away from him.
A sweet play by Matheson. Matheson just got his stick on that enough to direct that puck into the corner.
Philip Deneau in on the right side. To the corner, stops. Hits the line. Matheson. Played back down low. Chatfield gets to it. Up the near side, it squeaks out to center. Martinook for Ehlers. Left side, throws it across. Jordan Stahl plays it down low. Back up the far side. Taken away by Montreal. Out to center, they go with Doc. Here goes Doc. Near side, plays it around the Carolina zone. Far side, Bolduc, long shot off the glove of Anderson. Flutters dangerously wide of the net. Here's Hudson up top. Near side, Hudson. Into the corner, stops. Pulls back, long shot deflected by Slavin. As this will be pushed to center by Carolina.
That's quite the kick save net front by Slavin to redirect that puck into the corner.
Now here's Slavkovsky. Gives it away as he crossed the Carolina blue line. Good pass by Chatfield right to Jankowski. Throws it cross ice off the boards. Robinson under pressure. Defers down low for William Carrier. Fending off pressure, William Carrier up the near side. That'll be played out to center by Caulfield. Hurricanes back the other way. Jankowski gets checked along the boards by Struble. Here's Lane Hudson, a pair of big hits as he absorbs them both from Carolina on the forecheck. Has through center. Here's Slavkovsky near side. Stops. Back through the middle. Suzuki with a try to the net. Can't get it through. To the line. Carrier. Far side. Gooley. Shot that's blocked by Taylor Hall. Far side. Gooley. Swings it down low. All the way around near corner. Suzuki. Back to the line. Shot flung wide of the net. Swiped that by Jankowski, and the Hurricanes come to center. Near side, Jackson Blake. Into the corner with Carrier. Throws a hit. Has back to center. Almost had a breakaway. Slavkovsky couldn't get the pass off for Caulfield. Now Carolina with numbers the other way. Blake off to Svechnikov, and the blocker save is made by Dobish.
Glorious save, and it's a 3-on-1 coming in. Svechnikov fires a wrister short side, and it's a blocker save by Dobish.
Here's Suzuki firing with a shot that goes high and back out to center.
Victor, that's consecutive shots now that we've seen by the Canadiens on Anderson's glove that he's just waved at.
Habs up to center. Demidov right side with space. They're going to call him offside.
You can hear what the crowd thinks of that as Demidov collects this puck as he skates backwards into the offensive zone.
10:29 to go in the second period. Feels like anybody can score anytime they bring the puck over the line right now. We're tied at 2 at Game 3 on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
Hey, you know the difference between the Habs and a tire?
No. What?
There's none. They both have pressure.
Yeah, good point.
Point S, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, whoa, what's that sound?
I don't know, it comes and goes.
You gotta fix that. We can barely hear the game.
Yeah, good point.
Point S. Until June 30th, get $100 on a prepaid card when you buy 4 eligible Hankook tires. Details at points.ca.
For 60 years, Delmar has delivered excellence. Strikes, delays, tariffs, challenge accepted. With global reach, smart tech, and supply chain mavens, Delmar's proactive approach ensures your cargo keeps moving. DelmarCargo.com. Logistics made simple. Canadiens Hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Back inside Bell Center, 10:29 to go in the second. We're almost halfway through game 3. And boy, is this crowd into it now. What a wild second period we've got so far here. It's tied at 2, but chances on either side.
Well, there's energy back in this Bell Center. Very rare that we say that there's none. Well, we saw Lane Hudson get this crowd back into it off a beautiful exchange with Cole Caulfield on a 2-on-1.
Battle in the neutral zone, right in front of the Hurricane bench. Puck comes free for Gostisbehere. He gives it right to Deneau. That's knocked away, though, by William Carrier. Carrier in on the far side. Trying to fend off Caden Gooley. To the line, Nikishin. Long shot goes wide. Now Jankowski back to Nikishin. Another wrister. That's tipped by Robinson. Save made by Dobish. And to the point, good keeping by Nikishin. Played all the way to the far side. Robinson for Carolina. Down low, Jankowski. Far side, hands off to Shane Gostisbehere. All the way to the point, flings it wide again. As the Canadiens try and chop it out.
Carrier's really struggling in his own end this evening.
That's Alex Carrier as it's passed over to Deneau. He's run into by Martinook. Canes have been all over on the forecheck here. Montreal as they pick off another puck. Down low, Nick Ehlers. Over to the near side, try to go short side on Dobish. No luck there. That one hurt Dobish.
Really did.
And he's still not to his feet here as the Hurricanes play it off the glass. Have settle it down, and that'll give Dobish a moment to recover.
It looks like it's caught him on his right shoulder.
Here's Texier. Drives it in deep to the Hurricane zone. Back to the bench. Look out. Habs are changing, but able to get it off clean here. Back down low, Jordan Stahl. Battles with Demidov as Dobish is still flexing that shoulder in his own net.
Walker and Texier having a pretty good battle.
Carolina to center with speed. Sean Walker throws it across ice. Carolina getting a line change in here as Strubal's run into by Svechnikov. Up it goes for Newhook. Center Lane Hudson. In over the line. Hudson passes off Strubel. Near side looking to connect with Jake Evans. Goes back in behind the Carolina net. Now stripped away by the Canes. Aho plays it to center. It's swatted down by Strubel, and they're going to call this for a high stick.
It's an impressive play by Strubel as he's backing up. Just swings at this puck. It was going to be a 3-on-2. Canadiens will happily take this faceoff in their own zone.
8:11 to go in the second period. We are halfway through game 3, tied at 2 on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Are you looking for a damage insurance broker that specializes in commercial insurance? There is only one name, SOR Insurance. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, SOR Insurance brokers are the perfect advisors for you. With more than 65 years experience, SOR Insurance is proud of its team of brokers who stand out for their ability to select the best products for your business. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee. Made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
Abrisvo is an RSV vaccine. 60 or over? Talk to your healthcare provider about Pfizer's Abrisvo. Visit abrisvo.ca.
Montreal, the moment you've all been waiting for. Teddy Swims, The Ugly Tour. October 7th at the Bell Center. Get your tickets at teddyswims.com.
Canadiens Hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Back inside Bell Center, 8:11 to go in period number 2. Lane Hudson has tied this game at 2, and he has been electric in the second period, JP.
Well, pretty quiet first period, no question about that, but has been very busy in the second. There's no question as well that Lane Hudson is being targeted by Carolina. Anytime they get close to him, they're taking a run. We saw Taylor Hall do it. Last game, we've seen a couple of the Canes get good shots on him here in the second period, but it's almost like it's brought him to life.
Loose puck at center. Knocked down by Carolina. Stankoven feeds it back. Back to center again it goes. Montreal are on it. Here's Caulfield near side. Throws it down low. Suzuki over to Slavkovsky. He's tied up by Slavin. And the puck comes free for Jackson Blake. Back up to center. Matheson takes down his man. It's run in though for Jackson Blake with his shot. And a pad save made by Dobish, who almost slides into the restricted zone to cover it up. We get a bit of a scrum behind the net.
And Taylor Hall comes in late. That's a cross check. He goes over immediately to complain to the referee. Referees having none of it. Jackson Blake with -4 through the first 2 games, had no shots on goal in game 2. Highly productive in the playoffs so far. That might be his best look of the series.
Yeah. He's been a good player for Carolina. They've already signed him to a big contract as well.
How do you not?
8 years.
Young player like that showing tremendous upside.
4th round pick to Carolina 2020. Of course, his dad Jason was a longtime NHLer. 871 games. Played in an Olympics as well in 06 for USA. As Carolina get it loose off the face-off. Out in front, here's Svechnikov. He's brought down as he got the shot off. Loose in front, far side, big block from Alexandre Carrier. As Dobish got caught out of his crease. And Carolina are going back to the man advantage.
Goal-saving block by Carrier.
Montreal, number 21, minor penalty for tripping.
It's Cooley who gets caught in a one-on-one battle coming out of the corner, and he just can't catch up. That's Taylor Hall with the puck, and it looks to me like the Canadians took their foot off the gas. They thought that they were going to get a whistle, and instead the puck comes back, and it's a one-timer from the tops of the circles, and by this point, Dobish was out of his crease were it not for Carrier in the block. This is a 3-2 lead for Carolina.
Hurricanes off the draw. They'll get it set up. Here's Aho. Through in front. Jarvis shot. That's blocked. Newhook back off the far side. It hit the goal post. And Matheson flings it off the glass and out down the ice.
That was some tic-tac-toe passing by the Canes. And that very nearly ends up in the back of the Canadiens' net.
Shane Gostisbehere drops it from center. Here's Nick Ehlers. Near side Montreal zone. Poke to the line. Will be given away. Philip Deneau out to center. And right into the Hurricane zone. He's going to twist back to center ice. And now back to Matheson. It's played all the way down ice. Canes regroup. 1:10 to go in the 5-on-4. Shane Gostisbehere hands it off. Ehlers far side for Jarvis. Back to the net. That's tipped right on by Aho and stopped. And the puck gets away from Gostisbehere and goes back to center again. Now Gostisbehere over the blue line. Far side corner. Matheson. Chance to clear, and he'll do that as he fires it all the way down ice to Freddie Anderson.
Matheson wins the one-on-one battle in the corner with Svechnikov.
Hurricanes up to center. Here's Nick Ehlers. 30 seconds to go on the penalty kill for Montreal. Down low, Taylor Hall. Center! There's the shot. That's blocked by Jake Evans as he takes it away from Stankoven. And the whistle sounds as the puck was underneath Evans. That'll leave just 22 seconds to kill for Montreal.
That's a tough spot for Evans to be in. As he makes the block, he goes down on it. And he tries to fudge it to make it look like he doesn't know where it is. He knows exactly where the puck is. But when that happens, you know that the pitchforks are going to be coming out from Carolina. Referee quick on the whistle, blows that puck down.
Couple big shot blocks here from the Canadiens, JP.
Well, we saw just before the penalty, we saw the big block by Carrier and Jake Evans most recently.
Face-off glove hand side on Dovish. It's won back by Montreal and flung all the way around the boards by Alexander Carrier to center. That'll leave 15 seconds to go on the 5-on-4 for Carolina. Keandre Miller to center. Rifles it in. Far corner, Matheson. Back behind the net. Power play is over. Gouli returns to the ice for Montreal. As it'll be picked up by Evans. Backhanded out over Taylor Hall at center ice. He'll go back into his own zone to pick it up. Canes down ice. Stretch feed for Jordan Staal. He doesn't have a whole lot of speed, but he fends off Lane Hudson. Dobson able to get in there and take the puck away, though, from Staal.
That's some display of strength by Staal as he dumps Hudson from behind.
Here's Chatfield at center. And Carolina over the blue line. That's going to be whistled down offside. 4:46 to go in the second period. Carolina another 0 on the power play so far tonight as this game stays tied at 2 on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
For the first time in a decade, the NHL returns to the great outdoors of Winnipeg.
The Heritage Classic.
October 25th, Mark Scheifele and the Winnipeg Jets face off against Nick Suzuki and the Montreal Canadiens. Outdoors at Princess Auto Stadium in the Tim Hortons NHL Heritage Classic.
Get that outdoor feel in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Don't miss your chance to experience hockey outdoors live.
Hockey under the sky.
Get your tickets now at NHL.com/Heritage Classic.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? Tackle? Slide tackle?
Yep.
Penalty kick? Bicycle kick? Every celebration?
Watch every moment with 5TV with RDS and more sports channels. Plus 500 internet. All for $99 a month. Includes autopay credit. Visit Bell.ca for more details and to check availability. Bell. Connection is everything.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee. Made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
Scoring big starts at Voisin. Through the playoffs, your 20-pack of Molson Canadian cans is at minimum price. Stop by Voisin before the puck drops. Voisin, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
This is Montreal Canadiens hockey on your home of the Habs, TSN 690.
4:46 left in the second period. Game 3 between the Canadiens and the Canadiens. Tied at 2, and the Habs getting outshot heavily again, JP. 22-9, but here they are again, right in this game.
Well, right in the thick of it. Had 12 shots last game, game 2 in Carolina. Here they are with 9, and listen, ultimately, it's not that big a deal, but if the shots that you're going to take are so low, you better make sure that the ones that you get an opportunity to really let rip, that you score on them. And Freddie Anderson looks like he's ready to give up a couple tonight.
Canadiens lose the face-off in the neutral zone. Able to recover defensively. Moved down ice by Veleno, out of the reach of Bolduc, and therefore this will be called an icing.
It looked like Bolduc was trying to line up Jankowski as he was going into the corner. We've seen Bolduc deliver some pretty heavy hits. You know, he can really shoot the puck, but if he is a tough player to play against, if he makes it difficult on you, he's far more effective.
Veleno in for the face-off against Jankowski. Blocker side on Dobish. And Jankowski wins it clean right between his two D-men. Miller from center. Flies it back in. Bounces through for Joe Veleno. He'll track it down near side. He's thrown into the boards by William Carrier. Canes will slap it in from center. And they're going to be whistled down offside.
There's another example with Carrier as he comes along the wall, delivers a heavy hit on Veleno. Carrier is made for this time of year. That fourth line alongside Jankowski and Robinson been highly effective here early on in this series against the Canadiens.
They have, JP, and I would argue that Carrier has been the best player on that third or on that fourth or whatever line you want to call it. It's been an impact line for Carolina.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say that you know, generally speaking, whenever it's your fourth line, you're talking about, you know, just a depth group, but this has been an impact line for this Carolina Hurricanes team.
Kane's thrown in from center. Slavin around the boards, comes all the way to Chatfield. His shot deflects off of Suzuki into the corner. Back up it goes to center. Slavkovsky in on Slavin, far side with his shot, angled it wide of the net. Loose puck behind the net. It'll be claimed by Chatfield. Ripped around the boards. Banked to center by Sebastian Aho. And now played in for Freddie Anderson. Moved off the boards, cut off by Suzuki. Out in front, Slavkovsky with a low shot. Pad save made by Anderson. Another tip in front. Still loose at the top of the goal mouth. It'll be picked up by Carolina and thrown out through center ice.
That's a high slot tip by Caulfield off a shot from the point by Dobson.
Couple good saves there from Frederick Anderson with the pads. As in behind the net, look out. Here's Anderson on the forecheck. Carolina able to recover, at least for the moment. Anderson back in there, battles with Jordan Martinook.
There's just a blur coming in from Anderson in front of Anderson.
Now Martinook with a backhand, a good play, gets it up to center. Here's Ehlers with Gostisbehere streaking ahead, got the tip, and Darvish with a pad save of his own. 2:48 to go in this second period, and the goalie's putting on a show now.
Can't tell you how impressive that save was from Dobish. Nicky Ehlers finds Gostisbehere going hard to the net, and it's a backhander. Dobish is forced to get his right pad out in a flash to save a goal.
Hudson under pressure. Puck bounced around in the slot, settled by Deneau. He'll drive it to center ice and then skip it in. Freddie Anderson right back to center for Jackson Blake. Taylor Hall plays it ahead. Stankoven near side. Into the slot, bounces around. Matheson's tied up. Demidov to center. And the Canadiens gently play it in. Sean Walker skates around up to center ice for Carolina. Left side moving in. Sean Walker to the net, and he takes out Dobish. Arm is in the air, and it looks like Walker will go off for goalie interference.
Don't think there's any question about this. I'm Jakub Dobish. I'm getting up, and I'm pretty irritated at this play. You can understand that the player wants to get to the net. He has the right to get to the net, but Walker just gets knocked off lane and makes no attempt to get out of the way of Dobish. Plows over the top of him. It's going to be Jake Evans, who's going off to the box as well, who jumped on top of Blake as soon as that play ended. Excuse me, of Walker, as soon as that play ended.
Original Valley on the play, number 26. 2 minutes, goaltender interference. 71 Montreal, 2 minutes roughly. 4-on-4.
And after that, we're going 4-on-4, JP. So Evans takes a minor after Sean Walker bulldozed straight into Jakub Dobish.
Sean Walker, as I mentioned, he loses the puck, but as a player, I'm always watching your feet to show me what your intention is. Walker could have easily peeled off to the right-hand side and gone past Dobish. Instead, he hits the brakes, and he gets fed right into the back of him. Oops, Dobish almost goes down in his own net. He's going to have to take a look, make sure that his crease is in good shape. Last thing Dobish needs is to be catching an edge. Marty St. Louis does not look too pleased at this call that's been made.
So face off to the blocker side on Dobish. We go 4-on-4. It's Aho, Jarvis, Chatfield, Slavin for the Canes. Matheson, Carrier, Caulfield, Suzuki for Montreal. Carolina win the face-off. Slavin, left side. Drops it off to Jarvis. Jarvis cuts away from Matheson. He'll drive the net. His shot is stopped by Dobish. Still loose in front. And here go the Habs to center. 2-on-1. Suzuki, right side, passes through. Crafty pass between the legs, but it ends up in the corner.
Suzuki just ran out of space.
And now Carolina threatened to center ice. Here's Aho. He'll slow it down. He was under pressure, and Carolina get a line change.
Well, what an assist that would have been as Suzuki gets the puck, runs out of space, and fires it between his legs over to the side for Caulfield. Canadians were out of range by that point.
Here's Keandre Miller to center. Over the blue line. Left side. Centers for Blake. His shot goes wide. Back in behind the net. Loose puck for Noah Dobson. Here goes Dobson. Shuffled ahead for Suzuki. Far side. Demidov moves in. Dobson back on the near side. Tipped it wide. And here goes Gostisbehere out to center. Passes off. Far side. Ehlers wheels in. Behind Dobish. Left side. Miller. Drops off to Blake. Up high. Gostisbehere. Under pressure. Trying to shake off Newhook. Newhook takes it away. And the Canadians come ahead to center with Demidov. He'll fire it right across. 12 seconds to go in the period. Newhook down low. Back up the wing. Hands it off to Matheson. Back down low. Tried to wrap it around. Lost the handle on it, and he's going to run out of time. And after 40 minutes, this game is all tied at 2 apiece.
Jackson Blake breathing a sigh of relief as he loses Mike Matheson along the wall. Matheson behind the net, and he was looking for a wraparound as time is ticking away, but puck just jumps over his stick. Carolina gets out of it. Canadians pushing hard in the last few moments of this period.
What a second period that was. We only saw one goal in it. It was Lane Hudson for Caulfield and Dobish on the power play. The only power play goal in the series thus far at 4:43 of period number 2. Hurricanes and Canadians are tied at 2. The Hurricanes out shooting Montreal 25-11. We got the second intermission roundtable coming your way next. Brought to you by Fans First. Tickets for every game you need. Buy directly from season ticket holders. No additional fees. FansFirst.ca. Tied at 2 after 2 in Game 3 on Habs Hockey on TSN 6-9.
Got Game, a weekly show about women's sports with top athletes, coaches, and leaders. Hosted by Michaela Schreider and Vanessa Sanchez.
This week on She's Got Game, Vanessa is in Spain and I'm flying solo.
So you better listen and you better tell her she's doing a great job.
She's Got Game, Saturday afternoon at 1 on TSN 690.
Are you looking for an insurance broker, passionate and professional? With 65 years of experience, SO Insurance has proven to be totally dedicated to serving its clients. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, their brokers have one priority: to find you the best offer available to insure your home, car, and all other types of motorized vehicles. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
I'm with a Habs fan. Heading into the next game, what are you hoping for?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about winning battles, winning draws, and winning tickets.
Tickets?
Yeah, Desjardins has this contest to win tickets. You put your name in, give yourself a chance, and you live with the result, you know?
You heard it, Desjardins members. Enter the Take Your Shot contest for a chance to win 2 tickets to the next Habs home game. Contest details and entry at desjardins.com/Habs. Conditions apply.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? tackle, slide tackle.
Yep.
Penalty kick, bicycle kick, every celebration.
Watch every moment with 5TV with RDS and more sports channels. Plus 500 internet, all for $99 a month. Includes autopay credit. Visit bell.ca for more details and to check availability. Bell, connection is everything.
The Montreal Canadiens Fan Jam, presented by Lacache, comes to life for the playoffs. Be there for the biggest outdoor party in the city, featuring tattoos, a barber, food, drinks, and more. Rain or shine, join us at the Canadiens Plaza next to the Bell Center before home games only. Free admission, but first come, first served. Experience the playoff frenzy with the most passionate fans. Get all the details at playoffs.canadiens.com.
Canadiens Hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
As here goes Caulfield to center. In on the right side, Caulfield passes over, scores! Power play goal! Wayne Hudson! And Montreal battle back to tie it again. Has back to center, almost had a breakaway. Slavkovsky couldn't get the pass off for Caulfield. Now Carolina with numbers the other way. Blake off to Svechnikov, and the blocker save is made by Domish.
Glorious save, and it's a 3-on-1 coming in. Svechnikov.
As Carolina get it loose off the face-off, out in front. Here's Svechnikov. He's brought down as he got the shot off. Loose in front, far side, big block from Alexandre Carrier as Domish got caught out of his crease. And Carolina are going back to the man advantage.
Goal-saving block by Carrier.
Down low, Taylor Hall. Centers! There's the shot, that's blocked by Jake Evans as he takes it away from Stankoven. And the whistle sounds as the puck was underneath Evans. Sean Walker to the net, and he takes out Domish. Arm is in the air, and it looks like Walker will go off for goalie interference. Here's Ehlers with Gostisbehere streaking ahead, got the tip, and Domish with a pot save of his own. Welcome back to Montreal Canadiens Hockey on TSN 690. I'm Mitch Gallo with Peter Vrionis. It's 2-2 after 2 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Montreal Canadiens in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final. Your second period scoring summary. Lane Hudson scores his third of the postseason. It was a power play goal from Cole Caulfield and Jakub Dobesh. Let's get right into the second intermission roundtable. Gallo, Vrionis, Sean Campbell here in the broadcast booth. Victor Finley, our play-by-play man. Victor, much better second period for Montreal compared to the first. Now, still not perfect for Montreal, and large stretches of play controlled by Carolina, but they get the power play goal, and in a pretty good spot here, tied at 2 after 2. Yeah, I think they got their legs under them a little bit, and how many times have we seen this year an opposing team not able to put away the Canadians when they're pouring it on, like the Carolina Hurricanes were at times. One goal lead isn't big enough to put away this Canadians team, and power play opportunity the other way. It's a great play to set up Lane Hudson and have Strand again there. So I think we're in for some fireworks here on both sides of the third period, because like I mentioned on the call, it felt like we got to a point in that period where as soon as both teams crossed the blue line, it felt like the puck was going in no matter who had it on their stick.
I like the second period for the Canadiens for sure, more than the first. And I thought it was really started by the top line. Slavkovsky's made a couple weird decisions with the puck, but we've kind of been used to that in the playoffs. But Caulfield and Suzuki are definitely feeling it out there, and I thought they gave them some energy. And the Canadiens have been pushing the puck forward a lot more. They get in trouble when they reset. They allow that forecheck to kick into gear. So the moment they start going forward, they're getting those odd man rushes.
Yeah, resetting is something that really worked well against Buffalo, but clearly through 3 games here, more of a north approach would probably be fitting, and we saw them do that in Game 1, right? It's part of what made them so successful is the quick counters. Now, the one thing is, it's a power play goal at 5-on-5. Carolina's still really controlling things. Clearly, guys, the Canadiens are going to have to find a way to get some better looks
from the middle of the ice. Yeah, we saw a couple there on that one sequence. Slavkovsky on the 1T, Caulfield on the tip. They're going to need more opportunities like that if they're going to want to pull ahead here.
Yeah, I think, the Canadiens have done such an unbelievable job this year at scoring goals, especially in the postseason here I've referred to in particular. Goals off of deflections, traffic in front, goals late in periods, goals early in periods, like just the kind of goals that deflate another team. They did it a lot in the Tampa Bay series. They did it again in Buffalo. We haven't seen a whole lot of it yet in this series against Carolina, but that's where I'm looking for them to get one here against the Hurricanes, and it's one of those type of goals that can really kind of take the wind out of the sails of a team like the Canes.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that I think Vic and I were just throwing this around a little bit. With the way that this game is going in the third period, it could come down to a save from Dobesh and a dud from Anderson. Yeah. With the way that it's set up, you just need that right shot, the right opportunity from the right angle, and it could go in. The Canadiens have had some decent looks. They've missed the net, so they're not going to get those shots on net, but I think Anderson's ready to be had.
Well, look, the two wins, the two of the three wins, last two meetings of the regular season between Montreal and Carolina, that's how they won them, Sean, right? It was one more save for Dobesh than Freddie Anderson. And it felt like the goal against Anderson in games 2 and 3 of the regular season just came at a bad time for Carolina when you just need a save there. Didn't get it. They're playing from behind. They look frustrated, and they lose both of those games. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's amazing to me that Freddie Anderson, this is his 5th game against the Habs. We'll see what it ends like tonight, but his save percentage going into this against the Habs through 4 games is sub 800. Sub 800 save percentage through 4 games is unthinkable.
So they just need to take 5 shots and they'll get a goal?
I was thinking if they put 30 in the game, they might score 9.
Yeah. and just at the other end, Jakub Dobesh has made so many big saves. He's been Montreal's best player. I think he has 3 point-blank saves on Svechnikov. And we saw the play with Gostisbehere going to the net off the nice feed from Nikolai Ehlers. Just a few to point out. But, I mean, it's been more than that for Jakub Dobesh. He's been Montreal's best player here through 2 periods. Go ahead, Peter Vrionis back at TSN 690 Studios.
Yeah, just wanted to go over to Lane Hudson here. Now, Sean and I, we were kind of, and you as well, Mitch, kicking it around in the pregame show, how you felt like Lane Hudson needed to have a night tonight, and he scores the goal, big one there for the Canadiens. How does he look to you guys? Pretty generic question, but do you see any ill effects maybe from that injury, or does he look like regular Lane Hudson?
Looks like regular Lane Hudson to me. He takes the hit on the penalty that gets called on Martinook for slashing, where he knocks a stick out of his hands. It comes right off a hit in the near side corner off a forecheck from Martinook, and Hudson doesn't react to it. He springs right back up, and the play where he scores the goal, it's a beeline from his own zone right down ice. Nice little give and go with Caulfield. So to me, there's zero ill effects from that hit on Taylor Hall, or from Taylor Hall rather, in game 2. We'll see as the series goes on, right? Because those hits, for even if Taylor Hall didn't have an effect on him necessarily tonight with that hit, those hits add up over the course of a series. And if this one's going to go deep, like people are talking about, it might. It makes a difference in Game 7.
That's one of the things the Canadiens can take advantage of. You saw he was in the corner in that second period, and 2 Canes went to go hit him. But what did the Canadiens do? They broke out and got an odd man rush. Top line was out there. They got a grade A scoring chance, and that was all because of Lane Hudson taking 2 guys because they're over pursuing him, and they will finish their hits. So if the Canadiens can have Hudson lure 2 players in, there will be an extra man out there for the Habs.
Pretty crazy, just as you talk about the hits adding up over time. Lane Hudson in the playoffs has taken 58 hits, which leads the Stanley Cup playoffs. Nobody's been hit more than Lane Hudson.
Yeah,
so
that's
far.
a game plan. You circle, hit if you can.
Yeah, also helps when you play 14 games in the first 2 rounds. You're going to take some damage there.
And you play 30 minutes a night.
And you always have the puck.
Yep.
I don't think anybody's played more than him in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. Guys, thanks as always. Victor, go get ready for the 3rd. Campbell, have a great night. There's Sean Campbell, Victor Finley, Peter Vrionis back at TSN 690 Studios. I'm Mitch Gallo. You're listening to Montreal Canadiens hockey. It's 2-2 after 2 here at the Bell Center between the Hurricanes and the Canadiens. Coming up next, we'll get you caught up with the out-of-town scoreboard on TSN 690.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Montreal Canadiens is expressly prohibited.
Montreal is in the conference finals, and Fans First has tickets for every game. Buy directly from season ticket holders with no fees. Fans First, a Canadian company made by fans for fans. Get your tickets today at fansfirst.ca. Are you looking for a damage insurance broker that specializes in commercial insurance? There is only one name, SOR Insurance. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, SOR Insurance brokers are the perfect advisors for you. With more than 65 years experience, SOR Insurance is proud of its team of brokers who stand out for their ability to select the best products for your business. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
The Montreal Canadiens Fan Jam, presented by Lacache, comes to life for the playoffs. Be there for the biggest outdoor party in the city, featuring tattoos, a barber, food, drinks, and more. Rain or shine, join us at the Canadiens Plaza next to the Bell Center before home games only. Free admission, but first come, first served. Experience the playoff frenzy with the most passionate fans. Get all the details at playoffs.canadiens.com.
Canadiens Hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back to Montreal Canadiens Hockey on TSN 690. I hope you enjoyed our intermission roundtable. The second intermission roundtable is brought to you by Fans First. Tickets for every game you need. Buy directly from season ticket holders. No additional fees. Fansfirst.ca. Out-of-town scoreboard. No hockey going on right now, but you do have Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final in the NBA. And it looks like the New York Knicks are about 10 minutes away here from punching their ticket to the NBA Finals. We'll see if they play against the San Antonio Spurs or the Oklahoma City Thunder. But right now, the Knicks lead the Cavaliers 100-71. So that game really out of reach for Cleveland. And how about that? The New York Knicks off to the NBA Finals. All right, coming up next here on TSN 690, third period action between the Canadiens and Carolina Hurricanes. It's tied 2-2. Victor Finley and JP O'Connor with the call on the TSN 690 Habs Radio Network.
Abrysvo is an RSV vaccine. 60 or over? Talk to your healthcare provider about Pfizer's Abrysvo. Visit abrysvo.ca.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee, made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
Montreal, the moment you've all been waiting for. Teddy Swims. The Ugly Tour. October 7th at the Bell Center. Get your tickets at teddyswims.com.
Voisin knows everything tastes better after a win. This playoff season, when the Habs take the win, the celebration continues at Voisin. Swing by the following day for a free small Bleu Blanc Rouge slush. Voisin, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Details and conditions in store.
Montreal is in the conference finals, and Fans First has tickets for every game. Buy directly from season ticket holders with no fees. Fans First, a Canadian company made by fans for fans. Get your tickets today at fansfirst.ca.
The biggest superstar in country music, Luke Combs, presents his My Kind of Saturday Night Tour with special guests, May 29th and 30th at Parc Jean Drapeau. Tickets on sale now at lukecombs.com.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? Tackle? Slide tackle?
Yep.
Penalty kick? Bicycle kick? Every celebration?
Watch every moment with 5 TV with RDS and more sports channels, plus 500 internet, all for $99 a month. Includes autopay credit. Visit bell.ca for more details and to check availability. Bell, connection is everything.
The home of your Montreal Canadiens. TSN 690.
Welcome back inside Bell Center. About 20 seconds to puck drop at the start of period number 3 in Game 3 between the Habs and Canadians, or between the Habs and the Hurricanes. As the score is tied at 2, we've got ourselves set for a big third period here. Victor Finley with JP O'Connor on the call. And this is going to be another tight game by the looks of it for both Carolina and Montreal. For all the wins Carolina have had in the playoffs, they haven't really had any blowouts.
No, they haven't. And listen, this could have been one of those games tonight. You know, you look at the goal by Matheson, you look at the great play by Lane Hudson. But if Jakub Dobeš is not in the net making the saves that he's making, this is a completely different picture for the Montreal Canadiens. There's always going to be timely saves, and those timely saves, sometimes you forget about them, but they are clutch saves that he's made in the second period that you will never forget.
Habs moving right to left. We start this period 4-on-4, only for 9 seconds. As the Habs win the faceoff back, Sean Walker and Jake Evans are poised to spring out of the penalty box here in just a moment. Here goes Demidov to center. 5-on-5 again. Jake Evans has it. He'll play it in off the boards. Chatfield plays it around. Ehlers up to center. Glove down by Martinook. They're going to whistle this down for a hand pass.
You saw Jake Evans just before the period started having a long chat as he was heading into the penalty box with Francis Charon, the referee. And you remember there just before the end of the period, we had seen Walker crash into Jakub Dobeš. Evans jump in on top of him, kind of pull him out of that pile. Jakub Dobeš none the worse, but you can see the impact. You can understand the importance that Dobeš has this Montreal Canadiens team. Walker looks like he was pretty content to go in and get a piece of Dobeš in his net.
Habs tip it in from center. Freddie Anderson out to stop it. Right around the near side. Picked up by Seth Jarvis. Taken away by Suzuki in neutral territory. Shoveled in off the boards. He comes all the way around back to center. Here goes Aho sprinting ahead. Far side, he's all by himself. Carolina's getting a line change in as Aho just throws it down low.
It was a little bit of a lucky bounce, wasn't it? Aho found himself down the ice inside the Canadiens' blue line.
Here's Jackson Blake off the forecheck. Centers for Stankoven. Shot goes astray off of Nick Suzuki. And now back at center. Carolina control. Near side, Blake skates it in. Cross ice, Keandre Miller. Back down low for Taylor Hall. Stripped away by Montreal. Suzuki to center. He'll turn back into his own zone. Minute and a half gone. In the third period of play. Habs and Carolina tied at 2. Long stretch to center by Montreal. That's picked off by Gostisbehere. Goes back for Lane Hudson. And throw it to center again, right to William Carrier. Carrier's by himself. Again, Carolina are changing, and it's given away to Josh Anderson. Carrier right back on it for Carolina. As it's loose at the Montreal line, Texier feathers it ahead. Shane Gostisbehere goes back for it. Played all the way up to center now. Gooley. Back ahead for Anderson. Taken away by Carolina, given away, but then taken right back by Gostisbehere. And he will start ahead to center with a pass off the right for Ehlers. Into the Montreal zone. Ehlers fires it around. Far side, Alexandre Carrier settles it down. And spin it up the wing for Veleno. Veleno spots Bolduc. Left side, Gooley rushes in. Puts it right back through the far side as Carolina come ahead to center ice. Jordan Stahl. A bit of a low roller in on Dobeš is easily turned away. Puck goes back to center for Carolina. They'll give it away to Montreal. It's Matheson. Guides it ahead for Bolduc. Siphoned in over the Carolina blue line. Keandre Miller up the far wing. Canes come ahead to center. Space on the near side for Ehlers. He's out of gas, though. Needs a line change. And the Canadiens throw it away off the boards. Unforced error there. That's going to be an icing call.
Now, without question, this is going to come back into the Canadian zone. Mike Matheson collects his puck. He's looking to fire it up through the neutral zone. Doesn't get to anybody. All the way down behind Freddie Anderson. You know, the Canadiens here early on in the third period have had multiple chances to clear pucks, fire pucks into the neutral zone. There's one thing about getting them into the neutral zone. There's something altogether about getting the puck beyond Carolina's own blue line. That's what's going to allow the Canadiens to get back to their bench, to get fresh players on, and do so in a timely manner without giving up any territory.
Face-off win for Carolina. Near side wing, Svechnikov drags it away from Dobson. He's brought down in front of the Montreal net. Play stays alive for Jarvis. Down low for Aho. Carries up top, switches with Keandre Miller. Drops it off. Sean Walker wheels all the way in behind the Montreal net. Turns for Sebastian Aho up the far side. Aho to the line, rips it across. Svechnikov back up top, and he's forced to center with Sebastian Aho. As Carolina give it back to Montreal. 4 minutes gone in this third period of play. We're still tied at 2.
That's a heck of a play. Top in the zone by Jake Evans on Sebastian Aho. Aho using his body to screen Evans, but Evans able to get the stick in and clear the zone for the Habs.
Habs tipping in from center. Struble, first one in on the forecheck. Collides with Chatfield near side. Carolina settle it down at Stankoven. And he'll dart ahead to center. Long stretch up the far side. Filtered in rest of the way by Taylor Hall. Here's Blake behind the Montreal net. Blake turns around, can't get the shot off. Suzuki on it now. He'll start ahead to center. He's got Hudson joining the rush. In on the far side, Caulfield tried to siphon it back to the net. And it's collected in the near side corner by Carolina. And out to center they go. Taylor Hall just flicks it in off the backhand. And Caden Gooley will pass it over as the Canadiens up to center. It's rolled in to the Carolina zone, and Nikishin is on it behind his own net. Now here's Shane Gostisbehere to center ice. He'll pass it off far side. Ehlers with a hard slap shot that goes wide. Carolina roll it back to the far wing. And from the line, Gostisbehere played behind the net. Gooley is there for it. And he'll flutter it out to center ice. As the Canes reset. Martinook at center. Bumped in off the boards. Back to center for Josh Anderson. And on the far side, Philip Deneau. All the way to the corner. Carolina zone. 14-11 to go in this third period. Tied at 2. Canes back to center ice. Should be diffused by Noah Dobson. Not a whole lot going on here in terms of shots on net on either side in this third period. 6 minutes into it.
A definitely cautious approach for both teams here early on in the third.
Canes fly it out down the ice. That'll be an icing call. Not exactly wide open like we saw in the second period.
Puck management will be key, as all teams are just looking for that little edge, the little mistake that you make that they'll be able to pick you apart. And you can see Nikolai Ehlers on that last play up ice. He's coming up from behind Gostisbehere on the flank. It's a little flat pass. Ehlers is able to skate onto it and let a hard slap shot go that blows by the net.
Face-off win for Carolina, played out to center. Habs fire it right back in. And it comes around the boards and ends up catching someone on the Carolina bench. And play will be whistled down as a result. 13:41 to go in the third. We're going to take our first break of this final frame on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
For the first time in a decade, the NHL returns to the great outdoors of Winnipeg.
The Heritage Classic.
October 25th, Mark Scheifele and the Winnipeg Jets face off against Nick Suzuki and the Montreal Canadiens. Outdoors at Princess Auto Stadium in the Tim Hortons NHL Heritage Classic.
Get that outdoor feel in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Don't miss your chance to experience hockey outdoors live.
Hockey under the sky.
Get your tickets now at nhl.com/Heritage Classic.
Cheer on your favorite team at Winnie's, the Sir Winston Churchill Pub and Winnie's Restaurant and Bar, your ultimate hockey fever headquarters in the city. Catch every game live with great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable atmosphere. 1459 Crescent.
Are you looking for an insurance broker, passionate and professional? With 65 years of experience, SO Insurance has proven to be totally dedicated to serving its clients. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, their brokers have one priority: to find you the best offer available to insure your home, car, and all other types of motorized vehicles. Call 833-370-2704 or visit sor.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SO Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
13:41 to go in the third period of Game 3. The series tied at 1. This game is tied at 2. And both teams with a cautious start to this third period. 3-2 might be the final score tonight with the way we're going.
It certainly looks like it's heading that way. As I mentioned, everybody's just looking for that little bit of light. Make a mistake, and you kick that door open and you go through.
Canadians win the face-off at center. It's played in behind the Hurricane net. Anderson stops it. Plays it all the way back up to center. Here's Sean Walker. Played off to the near side for Eric Robinson. He's ridden into the boards by Zachary Bolduc. And Alexandre Carrier to center for Montreal by himself. Slows in over the line, waits for Demidov to catch up. Hands off to him. Demidov off the boards to Gooley. Back down. Bit of an awkward one for Demidov. He couldn't handle it. And the Hurricanes flip it to the Montreal line. Canadians at center with Jake Evans. He'll play it in off the boards. Jacob Slavin back to it. Back through center. Deflected by Aho. Canadians looking to center ice again. This time cut off by Jalen Chatfield. He'll roll it in behind the Montreal net. 12:40 remains in the third period in a 2-2 tie. Mike Matheson. Passes off for Nick Suzuki. Up to center. Moves it in. Slavkovsky trying to win the race. Didn't have the angle. And that'll be an icing call on Montreal.
Well, that's the right call, absolutely. Nick Suzuki fires his puck in, and he knows it's going to be an icing call unless Slavkovsky can get there. What I like to see, though, is you have Slavin on the ice. Slavin understands who the most dangerous player is, and that's Caulfield. Caulfield draws his attention, pulls him out of the middle of the ice, and he opens that lane. Allows Nick Suzuki to fire that puck up, anticipating Slavkovsky is going to be able to skate onto it.
Face-off blocker side on Dobish. It's one back for Chatfield. Down the far side, over to Stahl. Jordan Stahl in the corner. Good battle here with the captains, him and Nick Suzuki. Now Ehlers picks it up. To the line, Chatfield waits, tries the shot. Good block by Uri Slavkovsky, flipped out to center, and it bounces on Caulfield. He collects it though, drops it off for Suzuki. Low in the Hurricane zone. Suzuki under pressure. Gets it off behind the net for Caulfield. Caulfield to the line. Struble shot blocked in front. Play to the far side. Dobson able to hold it in. Near side. Struble back across. Can't find the mark for Caulfield. Now Caulfield high in the slot. Spins around for Dobson with space. Dobson center scores! Dobson with the pass. Redirected in front past Anderson, and Montreal lead for the first time in Game 3.
How many times have we talked about blocked shots in this series? And this is the attempt by Nikolai Ehlers, who slides into space. He's trying to cut this pass off that was intended for Slafkovsky. And instead of deflecting the puck into the corner, he deflects it 5-hole right past Anderson, gives the Canadiens the lead on Dobson's first goal of the playoffs.
And we might have another look at this one, JP.
To play for offside prior to the goal. The play will be under review.
It's Caulfield along the blue line. This one looks awfully close to me. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one come back.
Usually, JP, as we found this year, these calls for Coach's Challenge on offside are almost always right, and we're getting a still frame right here. It's close, and it's offside. That's going to be no goal. So it looked like the Habs got a great bounce. Cole Caulfield, that's a pretty clear view right there, JP. What we're seeing, Caulfield had himself offside, so it's not like we're craning or focusing our eyes to see who was offside on the far side. Caulfield crosses the line before he has the puck.
That call came in very quickly from Carolina's bench. As a staff, you know that one's getting flagged. The message will come down. If anything happens here, then we are going to take a look at it.
Here's the call.
After Carolina's Coach's Challenge, the play was determined to be offside. We have no goal.
So it comes back off the board, and this game is tied at 2 apiece once again.
Dobson had a glorious opportunity in the first period as he's trying to skate onto a puck, just couldn't get on the back of it, and finally ends up getting his first of the playoffs, only to see it reversed on Cole Caulfield being offside on the play.
So we'll reset the clock at 12:01 to go in this third period, and a face-off coming up to the glove-hand side of Jakub Dobeš.
At the start of the third period, Carolina were dominating in the face-off circle, 61% that they had won through the first two.
Face-off glove side on Dobeš. It's won back by Carolina. Slavin at the point. Sifts a wrister wide. Down low, Chatfield. Run into the boards by Josh Anderson. As the Canes battle for it behind the net, Stankoven gets it over for Taylor Hall near side. All the way up to the line. Hall with a shot, knocks a stick away. That belongs to Caden Gooley. Here's Jackson Blake, back to Hall. Wrister, that's caught by Dobeš. And he'll freeze it for the whistle.
Seen Gooley lose a couple of sticks this evening. This puck comes back to Taylor Hall. He identifies that Gooley's in front of him. Starts to challenge him. Gooley hits the brakes. That shot gets fired in. Dobeš makes a pretty easy save.
Face off to his blocker side. Hurricanes are going to go with their fourth line again. William Carey has played the fewest minutes in this game for the Hurricanes at 7:22, but I feel like we've noticed of JP every single time he's been on the ice.
Well, isn't that the case, though, with some of the fourth line guys, especially somebody like Carey who makes such an impact physically? Can only play 10, 11 minutes, but you hear them as much as you see them as they make contact along the wall.
Habs up to center. Here's Demidov off the new hook left side with a shot that goes high off the glass and all the way out to center. Demidov snaps it in behind the net. Frederik Andersen stops it. Canes chop it to center. Struble goes down, and Carolina moving in with Sean Walker, and he'll rocket one high over top of Dobeš. Near side, handled by Aho. Looks down low. Svechnikov still at the blue line. Rolls it into the near corner. Seth Jarvis Punished along the boards by Struble. Puck comes free behind the net for Aho. Out in front. There's a shot from Walker and another save from Jakub Dobeš. He got the glove on it.
It's terrible coverage by Canadians as they let Aho and Svechnikov get loose behind them.
Habs will settle it down. They're getting a line change, as are the Hurricanes, with 10:18 to go in the third in a 2-2 tie. Hudson behind the net. Snaps it off the boards to center. Caulfield over to Matheson through the middle. He'll play it in. Ehlers goes after it, but Slavkovsky gets it away. Slavkovsky cycles around to Caulfield. Far side Dobson. Flings it to the net off the pad of Freddie Anderson and all the way out to center. Now Mike Matheson. Near side for Slavkovsky. Off the boards, knocked down by Jalen Chatfield. And we got a Carolina player down. And there is going to be a penalty on this play.
It's an interference call on Dobson. Stahl is slow to his feet as he was blindsided.
9:39 to go in this game. And Jordan Stahl gingerly back to his feet. Here's the call.
Montreal number 53, minor penalty interference.
Oh, we thought Dobson might have given Montreal the lead. It's brought back off the offside, and now Dobson will be in the box for 2 minutes or less. Big power play for Carolina. Up next when we come back for the break on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? Tackle? Slide tackle?
Yep.
Penalty kick? Bicycle kick? Every celebration?
Watch every moment with 5TV with RDS and more sports channels. Plus 500 internet. All for $99 a month. Includes autopay credit. Visit bell.ca for more details and to check availability. Bell. Connection is everything.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
I'm with a Habs fan. Heading into the next game, what are you hoping for?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about winning battles, winning draws, and winning tickets.
Tickets?
Yeah, Desjardins has this contest to win tickets. You put your name in, give yourself a chance, and you live with the result, you know?
You heard it, Desjardins members. Enter the Take Your Shot contest for a chance to win 2 tickets to the next Habs home game. Contest details and entry at desjardins.com/Habs. Conditions apply.
This is Montreal Canadiens hockey on your home of the Habs, TSN 690.
Welcome back to Montreal. Game 3 is tied at 2 with 9:39 to play in the third period. Carolina are going to the power play. They're 0 for 2 tonight. They don't have a power play goal yet in the series.
Noah Dobson off for 2 for interference on Jordan Stahl. Pretty innocent collision, but a penalty nonetheless.
And Stahl's out to take this face-off for Carolina. Canadians win it and fire it down the ice immediately. And Stahl will get off the ice. We hadn't seen much of him at all in the power play.
Well, he's just trying to win the face-off on that play.
Gostisbehere forwards it down the ice. Was it tipped? Yes, it was. And Carolina go after it. It'll be picked up, though, by Newhook, and he'll shovel it out all the way down the ice. Minute 32 to go, and the Canes 5-on-4. Ehlers up to center. Crossing in far side. Drops it back for Shane Gostisbehere. Walks the line. Back and forth with Ehlers. Gostisbehere with a shot. He flies it wide. That'll be picked up by Ehlers. Settled down off the wing. Ehlers far side. Back up high for Gostisbehere. Ehlers down to Jarvis. Back to Gostisbehere. Hard shot hit his own man, Sebastian Aho.
Caught him in the right skate, almost knocked Aho off his feet.
Now Jarvis far side. Little hesitation. 49 seconds left in the power play. Canes work it around. Right wing now. Here's Ehlers. Steps into a shot. That one might have taken a tip, and it goes off the boards and out to center.
That's a pretty fortunate bounce for Montreal. This power play for Carolina is very static. It's not overly difficult to defend. With the quality of the players out there, you would think you'd see a little bit more movement.
Canes in over the line. Matheson makes a play on it. Carolina roll it around to the near side for Jackson Blake. Blake to the far corner. Back up top. There's a shot for Miller. Good blocker saved by Dobish. Back across right to Newhook. He'll filter it ahead to Jake Evans, who will go for his solo skate to center and toss it back. That's going to do it for this Carolina man advantage. Freddie Anderson plays it to the far corner, right there for Evans, who gets bumped off the puck by Walker. We are 5-on-5 again with 7.5 to play in Game 3. And the score still tied at 2. As here goes Stankoven over the line. Off to Blake. His shot hit his own man, Stankoven. And the Canadiens look out to center ice. They've got numbers. Here's Slavkovsky in with Hudson. Tried to play it through the middle. Off the tip, here is Suzuki. He lost it. And Carolina recover as Logan Stankoven will fly it into the Montreal zone.
Got some kind of defensive effort by Stankoven. It looked like Suzuki was going to find a way in. And it was a pickpocket from behind from 22.
And the Canadiens come in over the blue line, offside.
Cole Caulfield at the blue line just can't get out of the way. Slavkovsky just kind of catches him in his wake, pushes him forward, and sends the Canadiens offside.
That'll leave us with 6:58 to play in this third period. Shots 29-12 in the game for Carolina. 4-1 in this period in favor of the Canes. So 13 minutes into it, we see 5 total shots in this third. Neutral zone face-off. Joe Veleno leans in on Jordan Stahl, and Veleno wins it back. Stahl snapped his stick on the draw, and then Dobson snaps his on the shoot-in. We got a yard sale here of sticks at center ice. As William Carrier, far side, able to filter it ahead. Here's Martinook. He'll toss it in. Dobish stops it right behind the net. There's Jordan Stahl with a hit on the forecheck as the Canadiens launch it to center. Nikishin under pressure. We got a battle behind the play here. William Carrier and Bolduc exchanging a couple big chops as the Canes come back in behind the Montreal net. Now William Carrier plants Bolduc into the boards. Right, here goes Joe Veleno driving ahead. He'll move it in. Veleno chasing after it behind the net. Kirby Dach near side. Tied up by Slavin. Chatfield gets in, trying to knock this puck loose. And it does come free right for Jordan Martinook. He'll play it out to center. Picked up. Here's Sebastian Aho. Partial break moves in. On the line. Where is it? It's underneath Dobish.
Dobish doesn't want to move.
Is it over the line or not? The call is no goal. And it looks like Dobish managed to keep this one out.
Can't imagine they're not going to take a look at this one. But Dobish had it under. He's shaking his head to say no chance that it was in. It was underneath him. He did not want to move at all. Francis Charon just in having a chat to him. Francis Charon was behind him looking to see if he could spot it.
We're going to take a break, and I think we're going to have another look at this on the replay. When we come back, it is, for now, still a 2-2 tie on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? Tackle? Slide tackle?
Yep.
Penalty kick? Bicycle kick? Every celebration?
Watch every moment with 5TV with RDS and more sports channels. Plus 500 internet. All for $99 a month. Includes autopay credit. Visit bell.ca for more details and to check availability. Bell. Connection is everything.
Montreal is in the conference finals, and Fans First has tickets for every game. Buy directly from season ticket holders with no fees. Fans First, a Canadian company made by fans for fans. Get your tickets today at fansfirst.ca.
The biggest superstar in country music, Luke Combs, presents his My Kind of Saturday Night Tour with special guests, May 29th and 30th at Parc Jean Drapeau. Tickets on sale now at lukecombs.com.
For the first time in a decade, the NHL returns to the great outdoors of Winnipeg.
The Heritage Classic.
October 25th, Mark Scheifele and the Winnipeg Jets face off against Nick Suzuki and the Montreal Canadiens. Outdoors at Princess Auto Stadium in the Tim Hortons NHL Heritage Classic.
Get that outdoor feel in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Don't miss your chance to experience hockey outdoors live.
Hockey under the sky.
Get your tickets now at NHL.com/Heritage Classic.
The home of your Montreal Canadiens. TSN 690.
Back inside Bell Center, 5:47 to play in the third. We've got no goal on the play from Aho on Dobish, so the game remains tied. And the Hurricanes will fling it in from center ice. Dobish stops it behind the net, leaves it for Mike Matheson. Over to Dobson. All the way down the ice it goes, and no icing here.
I took a tip off of Anderson's stick before crossing the line.
Canadians to the line. Matheson shot. That one hit the goal post. Back off the wing. It's flung wide by Texier. That took a chip in front. Matheson far corner. Pressured by Blake. Pulled free by Montreal. Flung high and out of play. Over the glass by Philip Deneau.
You know, this is a great play by Deneau as he comes up the wall and he uses Noah Dobson as a bit of a screen. And all he wants to do is turn and fling this puck to the net. And just as he's about to throw it, the puck stands up. And as he slings it, he ends up swinging this puck right up into the netting. We come back to the last sequence that we just saw there with Mike Matheson. It's a couple of quick steps that he pulls towards the middle of the ice, and then he just changes the direction of the shot. And it's enough to catch the left post, the short side post on Anderson, who didn't see the puck coming in.
Battle off the faceoff. Habs win it back. Slavkovsky out there with the first line. Zips it to the near corner. It's played right up ice for Martinook. Here go the Canes to center. It'll be Ehlers left side. He'll just throw that into the near corner. Canadians take it away, played to center, but scooped up by Keandre Miller. Now Sean Walker, his pairing partner, guides it off the boards back over to Miller. Habs in on the forecheck. Lane Hudson trying to force the turnover. Goes over to Walker. Played to center. It'll be flung in by Nikolai Ehlers.
Walker didn't see Stahl up on the left-hand side of the ice near the Canadiens bench. He was wide open and calling for it. Makes a different decision with the puck, and Stahl's heading back to the bench frustrated.
4:13 to go in game 3. We are tied at 2. Habs play it to center. Demidov, it got away from him, and it goes right to Jarvis, but this is going to be whistled down offside. Finally, 4:05 to go in this third period. Haven't seen a whole lot from Jarvis. JP had that one chance on the power play, nailed the goalpost. 5-on-5, not a whole lot going for him.
And 4 shots in game 2. He was getting his looks. But you're expecting a little bit more for the Team Canada man, 32 goal scorer this year.
Scored in the second round against Philly. Scored the first goal of this series in Raleigh. It's been held pretty silent ever since as the Hurricanes win the center ice faceoff. Again out there with Svechnikov, Aho, and Jarvis as they sky it to center. This is picked up by Jake Evans. Played off the boards. Nikishin, he's going to get this and keep it away from Newhook. One hands it ahead for Jarvis. Carolina to center. It's played in deep by Sebastian Aho. Far side, Alexander Carrier is stapled to the boards by Svechnikov. Montreal up to center. Newhook tried to throw it in. That's cut off by Jacob Slavin. Back up the near wing for Aho. Cross-ice feed, and Svechnikov had it roll on him. Here go the Habs the other way. Newhook, end of his shift here. He's going to stay out. And he's bothered by Slavin. And Slavin sits him down. And Newhook's going to go back to the Montreal bench for a change.
Newhook's gassed as he heads back. Wasn't ready for that play by Slavin. Not too hard to check, but it's enough to knock him on the ice.
Canes break out to center, trying to tip it in. It's taken away by Lane Hudson. 2:52 to play. Here goes Caulfield to center. Good moves. Over the line, he's stripped of the puck. And it's thrown to center by Jankowski. Here goes Caulfield again. This time he'll defer to Suzuki. Back through the middle, taken away by Carolina. Flipped out to center. And it'll be picked up by Lane Hudson. Canadians reload and back up ice they go. Suzuki with Slavkovsky. Near side, Slavkovsky leaned on by Jackson Blake. Tried to center it. Bouncing around, it goes to the far side. And here goes Carolina to center. Charging down the left side. Taylor Hall tried to play it through. Side of the net, Stankoven can't gather it. Out in front, Blake passes over. Big block from goalie, who denies Taylor Hall. Back to the line. Gostisbehere can't drag this shot through. Good stick by Slavkovsky. This is they've done all year. The Habs making it hard for Carolina to get pucks through to the net. Now here's Blake, far side for Carolina. Still in the attacking zone. Shot through the middle, picked off by Gooley. Down ice it goes. Race for icing. Nikishin wins it. And it'll be an icing call with 1:40 to play.
Well, some sequence that we just saw from Carolina, who took full advantage of a bad pinch by Caden Gooley. Gooley commits, he gets up on the play and ends up not being able to get his man. It's a 2-on-1 going the other way. Gooley manages to get back, goes to the ice and makes the save on Taylor Hall, who's trying to fire a wrist shot in on net.
Face-off blocker side on Dobish. It's won back by Carolina. In for the line. Sharp angle shot from Slavin is stopped. And Montreal fly it out down the ice, looking to spring Anderson. Chatfield back to make the play. Moved off the glass and out, rolling in toward Dobish. He'll settle it down at the side for the whistle.
Josh Anderson looked like he was shot out of a cannon on that last play. It's a flip down the middle of the ice, and we're in game 3. But Carolina knows full well the impact that Josh Anderson can have when he gets moving.
Face off to the blocker side on Dobish. Minute 23 to go in game 3. Still tied at 2. Shots 32-13 Carolina. Danault in for the face-off against Sebastian Aho, and Danault wins it clean.
I think that 9 for 13 for Danault in the evening.
Flown out to center, where Carolina knock it down. Now reset as Danault goes to change. Evans onto the ice with Demidov and Newhook. Habs back for it. Deep in their own zone. Demidov up for Matheson. He's got to step out to center. Off the Newhook. Tries to play it in. This will be smothered by Carolina. Final minute in regulation of game 3 is Carolina trying to spring Aho. Can't find him, and they've iced the puck as a result.
Now Sebastian Aho is going to be really frustrated with himself, as he did find himself with clear ice. It was Slavin who gets the puck, spies him all the way down at the Canadiens' blue line, fires that puck off of the wall, but Aho can't get his foot, can't get his stick, can't get anything on it. And this is going to come back into the Canadian zone. Nick Suzuki in to take the face-off against Sebastian Aho.
Far side on Freddie Anderson. Battle off the draw. And it's a long one, but Carolina eventually win it, and Ehlers deposits the puck to center. It'll be picked up there by Noah Dobson. 41 seconds to go in game 3. Still tied. Here's Hudson to center. Over to Caulfield. Played in off the boards. Miller behind his own net. Rips it around. Blake unable to handle it. It comes back to the near side, though, and Carolina will force it up the right side, and that goes off the linesman, it looks like. At least that's what Taylor Hall thinks. It's going to be an icing call here.
You know what it is here, Victor, is the referee, the linesman, is in the way. And that puck ends up coming through the linesman. Hall's trying to see it coming past his body. Can't get a stick on it. Now, Nick Suzuki had been on the ice, and that line comes off. Jake Evans is going to come in and take this. Suzuki's been dreadful this evening on faceoffs, just 3 of 10.
And Carolina win another one here as they elevate it off the glass. Have they iced it again? No, they have not. This does not have the gas, as Dobson back for it. Throws it ahead for Ivan Demidov. Final seconds here, 10 to play. Chopped away at the Carolina blue line. Back down the near side. Dobson in behind his own net, trailed by Jackson Blake. Picked up by Stankoven, and that's going to be all for regulation time tonight. 60 minutes. And we still don't have an answer yet for who's going to win Game 3.
Jakub Dobeš keeps the Montreal Canadiens in this. Canadiens managed 13 shots only through 3 periods. And for the second game in a row, off we go to overtime.
Lane Hudson with the game tires. Third of the postseason, all the way back at 4:43 the second period. We have not seen a goal since. We thought Noah Dobson might have given the Montreal Canadiens the lead. Called back on the offside. We're going to take a break. It is the intermission roundtable. I suppose it's brought to you by Fans First. Tickets for every game you need. Buy directly from season ticket holders. No additional fees. fansfirst.ca. The sponsors are happy, and so are we. We've got bonus hockey in Montreal after the intermission. It is the intermission roundtable next on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Listening to the home of sports in Montreal, TSN 690, CKGM, and iHeart Radio Station.
Are you looking for an insurance broker, passionate and professional? With 65 years of experience, SO Insurance has proven to be totally dedicated to serving its clients. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, their brokers have one priority: to find you the best offer available to insure your home, car, and all other types of motorized vehicles. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Are you looking for a damage insurance broker that specializes in commercial insurance? There is only one name: SOR Insurance. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, SOR Insurance brokers are the perfect advisors for you. With more than 65 years experience, SOR Insurance is proud of its team of brokers who stand out for their ability to select the best products for your business. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
The Montreal Canadiens Fan Jam, presented by Lacache, comes to life for the playoffs. Be there for the biggest outdoor party in the city, featuring tattoos, a barber, food, drinks, and more. Rain or shine, join us at the Canadiens Plaza next to the Bell Center before home games only. Free admission, but first come, first served. Experience the playoff frenzy with the most passionate fans. Get all the details at playoffs.canadiens.com.
Delmar, logistics made simple, transforming intricate logistics challenges into effortless experiences for clients across the globe. Visit delmarcargo.com to connect with the Delmar expert today. Delmar, logistics made simple. Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Now Caulfield high in the slot, spins around for Dobson with space. Dobson centers, scores! Dobson with the pass. Redirected in front past Anderson, and Montreal lead for the first time in Game 3.
After Carolina's coach's challenge to play was determined to be offside, we have no goal.
So it comes back off the board, and this game is tied at 2 apiece once again. Punished along the boards by Struble. Puck comes free behind the net for Aho. Out in front, there's a shot from Walker, and another save from Jakub Dobeš. He got the glove on it. He'll play it out to center. Picked up, here's Sebastian Aho. Partial break, moves in. On the line, where is it? It's underneath Dobeš.
Dobeš doesn't want to move.
Is it over the line or not? The call is no goal. And it looks like Dobeš managed to keep this one out. Canadiens to the line. Matheson shot. That one hit the goal post. Side of the net. Stankoven can't gather it. Out in front. Blake passes over. Big block from goalie, who denies Taylor Hall.
Welcome back to Montreal Canadiens hockey on TSN 690. I'm Mitch Gull. I got Peter Vriones with me. After 3 periods of play, the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes are tied 2-2. So what do? Well, we have a overtime intermission. Overtime intermission brought to you by Fans First. Tickets for every game you need. Buy directly from season ticket holders. No additional fees. Fansfirst.ca. So Mitch Gallo with J.P. O'Connor and Sean Campbell here in the broadcast booth, and Peter Frionis back at TSN 690 Studios. Guys, as far as the way that third period was played, no shortage of drama, whether it comes to the offside call and Dobson having Canadian fans thinking that the Canadians grabbed a 3-2 lead, to Dobesh almost going into the net with the puck as Aho backs him all the way up. That third period, considering as a tie game, plenty of drama for the fans here at the Bell Center.
Yeah, for a very cautious period. Both teams I think it took, in the first 10 minutes, there was only one shot total before they started opening things up, which benefits the Montreal Canadiens if they start going back and forth. But, yeah, the drama was there. I kind of got lost because in my head I was like, oh, that was close offside. And then play resumed, and then they scored. And then I was like, oh, why are they whistling? Oh, yeah, that was close offside. And it didn't take them long to find that one.
I had somebody text me while the play was still going on offside.
Yeah, but I thought about it when it happened, but I forgot about it when they scored.
Yeah, you know who didn't forget about it? The video guys.
Yeah.
They're on it right away. They're looking at it the same way that Mitch or whoever it was that texted you. You see it, and you try to make that mental note to know we got to come back and take a look at it. They're all over it. And listen, it's the right call. There's no question about that. But I just like that sequence for Dobson, who this evening he's missed one in the second period that he could have gotten the back of. He's looked for Slavkovsky on at least a couple of occasions. And for somebody who's come back, who's fought through that hand injury that he had, and at times I've wondered just how injured he remains, I thought it was a nice reward for him to finally get one, all to see it come back.
Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, guys, is there anyone that you feel could help pull Montreal into this fight here? Because cagey affair, both teams not really taking many chances, but is there anyone that you maybe saw a glimmer from that could help them in this overtime?
Pete, I think this is an obvious one for me. Whenever you're playing man-to-man the way that Carolina does, it only takes one miss. You need the skill set to make somebody miss, and then everything kind of fractures at that point. Rod Brind'Amour and the Canes are relying on the fact that their team defense is committed to making sure they don't get beat in a one-on-one. And the guy who stands out for me as the guy who can do that most is Demidov. Demidov can, put you on the tracks. He can make you stop, get right past you, and next thing you know, everything's starting to fracture behind the Canes. That's the guy that I'm looking to might not score the goal, but that's the guy that I'm looking to get things going offensively.
I like Suzuki most nights, but I'm loving Caulfield tonight. I think Slavkovsky's made some interesting decisions, but that line's still going. But Cole Caulfield looks dangerous. And if you're a 50-goal scorer, you're in a 2-2 game, the goalie on the other side is Freddie Anderson. Cole Caulfield, I think he could be the difference maker here for the Montreal Canadiens. Mitch, I really like the way that he's looked tonight.
Mitch, how do you feel about the fact that Freddie Anderson has barely been, kind of challenged at all here in this third period? I think it was 2 shots at the Canadiens registered. You think that's a good thing or a bad thing for Freddie Anderson to have not faced any shots?
I think it's by design. I think Carolina wants to keep that puck as far away from Freddie Anderson as possible. I think, JP, I think it's a good thing for Carolina that they're not giving up a lot. I think it's a bad thing for Freddie Anderson if you're asking somebody who hasn't seen a lot of rubber now to come up with a big save. I think he's looked shaky with a couple shots that were put on his blocker side. I'm curious how the beginning of this overtime period goes, because in game number 2, we saw Carolina take the puck early in overtime, and I don't think Montreal touched it for 3.5 minutes until finally Kapanen has a chance to get a puck deep. It turns over. Ehlers flies the other way. Carolina wins the game. Montreal didn't have a shot attempt, barely had the puck. Can Montreal learn from that experience in the previous game and show us something early in the overtime period and maybe put a couple pucks on Freddie Anderson and make him feel it a little bit, make him make a save?
Well, Vic told us in the last intermission, Freddie Anderson's save percentage versus Montreal this year is sub 800. So that's 1 goal every 5 shots. Canadians need 2 shots in this overtime and they win.
There it is.
That's some elite math by Campbell.
3 shots. They just lost one. So
didn't even have to take his socks off for that one.
All right, guys. Campbell. So, when Campbell's not around, I do a player from each team for an overtime winner. Campbell's here. He gets really whiny when I say pick one from each team because he likes to only pick one. So
Don't sit on the fence. If you pick one from Carolina, pick one from
Don't
Carolina.
whine about it. I'm giving you your game and not mine. We'll pick one to score in overtime. Campbell, I know you said you like Suzuki on Twitter. You wrote Suzuki, so I'm guessing on the radio you're also going to say Suzuki.
On a Caulfield rebound.
On a Caulfield rebound.
So I think Caulfield will be the one rolling it. So, yeah, I'll say Suzuki.
All right. KP?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Demidov.
I like it.
Breaking down the Carolina Hurricanes on a play in man-to-man.
Do I have to?
I'm just saying.
No, because I'll take it on a jump in by Gooley. We've seen Gooley jump into the play on a couple of occasions.
Sometimes on good decisions and bad decisions, but I like the idea of Demidov. By the way, for a game like this, one individual moment, individual play, and he can provide that. Here.
By the way, just what a great block by Caden Gooley late in the third period. Could have potentially saved a goal when the Canadiens were scrambling around.
Well, he needed to make that block. He gave it up. He allowed that play to begin with the bad pinch coming in. So
he decided to pinch and then decided not to pinch, which JP is the worst decision.
You got to get something. You either got to get the man, you got to get the puck, but you have to get something. He got neither. So he giveth and he taketh away.
Peter.
Yeah, Sean can attest to this. I replied to his tweet. I said Demidov, so I'm going to go with Demidov as well.
Double down!
And that's why I asked JP, because I figured he would go in that direction.
Oh, you both going with Demidov?
Yep.
Is that allowed, Campbell?
Hey, man, I don't write the rules.
Yes, you did. That's why we're only picking one. You absolutely wrote the rules.
All right, so you want Suzuki?
No, I'm not taking Suzuki. And I'm not... Come on. We can't all be homers here. I'll go with somebody from the Carolina Hurricanes.
Boo,
I have a feeling that...
No, it's not boo. It's a boo-choo, choo-choo, boo.
I have a feeling that Andrei Svechnikov absolutely hates Jakub Dobeš right about now, 3 games into this series. I think he's been a beast, so I'm going to go with Svechnikov to win it for Carolina here in game.
But you did that last game. Can't double down.
Why not?
I don't know. Sean writes the rules.
That is definitely a new rule. Double down. Double down. Double down on
you guys are going to have to talk about this on Campbell versus Gallo tomorrow.
We got 4 hours. We got to do something.
Yep. See you, Campbell. There's Sean Campbell, JP O'Connor here in the broadcast booth. I'm Mitch Gallo. Peter Briones back at TSN 690 Studios. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, overtime between Carolina and Montreal. It's all tied up at 2.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
I'm with a Habs fan. Heading into the next game, what are you hoping for?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about winning battles, winning draws, and winning tickets.
Tickets?
Yeah, Desjardins has this contest to win tickets. You put your name in, give yourself a chance, and you live with the result,
You heard it, Desjardins members. Enter the Take Your Shot contest for a chance to win 2 tickets to the next Habs home game. Contest details and entry at desjardins.com/Habs. Conditions apply.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? Tackle? Slide tackle?
Yep.
Penalty kick? Bicycle kick? Every celebration?
Watch every moment with 5TV with RDS and more sports channels. Plus 500 internet. All for $99 a month. Includes autopay credit. Visit bell.ca for more details and to check availability. Bell. Connection is everything.
For the first time in a decade, the NHL returns to the great outdoors of Winnipeg.
The Heritage Classic.
October 25th, Mark Scheifele and the Winnipeg Jets face off against Nick Suzuki and the Montreal Canadiens. Outdoors at Princess Auto Stadium in the Tim Hortons NHL Heritage Classic.
Get that outdoor feel in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Don't miss your chance to experience hockey outdoors live.
Hockey under the sky.
Get your tickets now at nhl.com/Heritage Classic.
This is Montreal Canadiens hockey on your home of the Habs, TSN 690.
Welcome back inside the Bell Center. We are 40 seconds away from puck drop in overtime of Game 3 between the Canadiens and the Hurricanes. Victor Finley with JP O'Connor on the call late into the night. And just how late, we will find out maybe shortly, maybe not. This could go a while tonight, JP, for the second time in the series. Carolina-Montreal in overtime. The last one that Ehlers won in Game 2 did not last very long.
No, not at all. It was an electric play by Ehlers through the neutral zone. He takes a pass from Jankowski and in stride fires a shot past Jakub Dobeš on his blocker side. Carolina continues to roll when they get into overtime in this year's playoffs. 4-0 right now. They're 6-0 when they're going all the way back to the Devil Series of 2025. So certainly a confident group as Stahl settles in to take this faceoff against Danault.
Habs moving left to right here in overtime. Long change for both sides as the Canadiens play it right in. Off the bat, it comes back to center. Gets knocked away off the boot of Ehlers. And taken by Lane Hutson in his own zone. Over to Alexandre Carrier, stretching to center. Wants Texier. He's under pressure from behind. He'll be picked up here by Lane Hutson. Circles around center. Hutson already with one Game 3 overtime winner through the middle. Here is Suzuki's shot. He put it wide of the net. Breakaway for Suzuki right through the middle. Can't finish, as it'll be picked up by Jarvis. Over to Svechnikov. Down the far side, dropped it and gave it away. Here's Suzuki. In over the line, off to Slavkovsky. That's stripped away, but then given away to Matheson. Spin move at the line, shot. That one hits the iron and goes high out of play. And if your pulse wasn't racing before overtime, it certainly is now.
Well, what do you want from the Montreal Canadiens? They hadn't had a whole lot of shots. They don't have any more, as that last shot from Matheson goes off the crossbar. Nick Suzuki comes in on the stretch pass from Hudson just as he's coming off the bench in on the breakaway, and he blows it past the left post. But two glorious opportunities for Montreal to end this game. And Carolina is still alive just over a minute in.
Off the draw, Habs win it. Dobson's shot is blocked. Another try. Passes off one at Demidov. That's knocked away by the stick of Chatfield. Demidov down low. Up high for Dobson. Shot does not get through to the net. Near side Newhook. Already a much better start to this overtime than it was in Game 2 for Montreal. Here's Hudson at the line. Walks across. Gives it over to Demidov far side. He'll spin it down low. Jake Evans caught up as the Canes come away with it, and here they go to center, driving through the middle. Stankoven off to Taylor Hall. He'll try his shot. That rattles around into the corner. Jackson Blake tied up by Dobson. Dobson guides it away. And out to center, here's Demidov. Played in off the boards. Shane Gostisbehere on it. And we'll start ahead to center ice. 2 minutes gone in overtime. Hurricanes chip it out into their own bench. That'll be a whistle.
Canadians looking a lot more comfortable, especially when they're in the offensive zone, controlling the puck. A couple of rim releases down by one of the corners, rim it all the way around to the far side, all the way up to the blue line, and that puck makes its way up to Cole Caulfield. Up to Lane Hudson. And Lane Hudson gets one of the Carolina defenders, kind of puts him on the tracks. And it's a dangerous play. And having to go one-on-one against Lane Hudson.
Neutral zone face-off. Big tie-up here, but Stahl is able to win it back from Philip Deneau. And it's rattled in around the boards by the Carolina Hurricanes. Stahl in on the forecheck. Battles with Matheson now. Martinook down low. It's taken away by Alexandre Carrier. Tied up, though, again by Martinook. Now from behind the net, here's Matheson. Looks down ice, spots Texier, cross ice, wanted Anderson. It was wide open, but it's cut off by Keandre Miller. And he'll fly it all the way out down the ice. Matheson in behind his own net again. Here he goes to center. Matheson skating in right side. Off his backhand, good stick by Keandre Miller.
That's the reach that Miller has, just gets his stick in.
As Carolina try and come in on the far side, have to shoot it down ice, and they've iced the puck. And JP, I think we're really coming to appreciate in this series just how key Keandre Miller is on the back end for Carolina.
This is the end of year one for Keandre Miller. He's going to be there for a long time. He's a big man, 6'5", and he can physically handle you down in the corner. But as we just saw with Mike Matheson, who's as good a skater as there is in the league, Miller is out of position, but it's the long reach that comes in to push that puck into the corner. Mike Matheson had his sights squarely set on cutting to the net.
Face-off blocker side on Dobish. Aho wins it back for Gostisbehere. Sharp move on Anderson. Tries a backhander to the net. Never got through, and Anderson will loft it down ice. Alexander Nikishin back for Carolina. Through center, right up the middle. Nikishin shot. That's stopped by Dobish. He's got it in his glove, and he'll hang on for the whistle.
You've seen Nikishin fire it a couple of times this evening. He can really release it. 6'3", 220 pounds. When he leans on that stick, the puck explodes off it.
He was a spectacular defenseman in the KHL last few years with Scott St. Petersburg, where he played with Demidov. And he was known for a little bit of everything. Could score goals, set him up, and also throw his weight around better than anybody in the KHL.
No reason not to at that size.
Canadians win the D-zone face-off. Slavkovsky snaps it down the far side. Look out, that's deflected by Chatfield, but all the way over the glass and out of play.
Oh, that's a good snag.
It's coming in hot.
Didn't spill a drop of beer. Walks home with a souvenir. Could have gone to the Montreal General for a couple of stitches.
Face off in the neutral zone. Oh, he gave it to a kid too. How about that?
Oh, well played.
Wow.
Well played.
There is our first star of the game. Neutral zone face off. Suzuki wins it back, and Gouli fires it in from center. Svechnikov tries to track it down near side. He will, and feeds it ahead for Jarvis. From center, it's tossed in. And behind the Montreal net, Hudson. Over to Suzuki, up for Slavkovsky. Through center now, Gouli left side. Moving in, stops. Pressured from behind by Chatfield. And now knocked to the line and out to center by Carolina. Played right back in behind the Canes net. Freddie Anderson fires it around out to center. Now Jackson Blake moves into the Habs zone. He's knocked down. It's thrown right back down the ice. And this will be another icing call on Montreal as Demidov gets into it a little bit. We haven't seen this much.
Still pushing around with Blake. Blake had gone to the ice, and as he's going, he hauls Demidov down with him. Get their arms tangled up with one another. There's more barking than biting in this. You can see that Demidov is determined not to get pushed around.
Face-off coming up glove hand side on Dobish. Stankoven leans in, but it's Snuhook who wins it back from Montreal, and it's given away to Taylor Hall. Side of the net, tried to jam it home, unable to do so. Walker with a try from the line. That's off a body in front. As it'll be skated low behind the net by Logan Stankoven. Back to the near side, Carolina played into the corner. Demidov takes it away. He'll throw it back up the near side. And taken at the line now by Walker. Down low, Stankoven back through the slot. Hard shot from Keandre Miller. That was driven wide of the net. Now Demidov on it. He gave it away. Stankoven centers. No shot taken by Taylor Hall. And Montreal dodge a couple bullets there with sloppy puck management. 5 minutes gone in overtime. As Montreal played into the Carolina zone. 2-2 the score. As this is moved in past Dobish to the near corner. Here's Ehlers' low shot. That's shoveled aside. It stays in play. As Nikisha tried to play it to the net, that bounced off a body. Here goes Anderson to center. Tries to flip it in on Gostisbehere. Down low it goes behind the net. Texier to the line. Struble waits, tries the shot, never got through. And it's sent back to center ice.
The reason the Canadiens get that sequence, though, is because the puck gets in deep. Too many times this evening, the Canadiens have stalled out because they haven't been able to get a puck deep in behind the Carolina defense.
And they just called an icing here on Montreal off a stretch pass with 14:19 to go in the first overtime.
Well, Nick Suzuki, I mentioned earlier, has had a tough night in the face-off circle. Just 4 for 13, good for 30%. Going to be facing off against Jankowski.
And Jankowski wins this one back. Right to Slavin with a shot. Blocker save made by Dobish. All the way to the far corner. Carolina played back behind the net. Lane Hudson looks to poke it up the wing. Bothered by Jankowski. Taken away by Caulfield, up to center for Slavkovsky. Moving in over the blue line. Slavkovsky waits for his line mates to catch up. Throws it down low. Wants Caulfield. He's closed off by Jalen Chatfield. And the Hurricanes bunt it out to center ice. Now Montreal back to center. Into the Carolina zone. Here's Slavkovsky again, right side. All the way to the corner. Moves it behind the net. Stolen by Sebastian Aho. And Aho up to center. Over to Svechnikov. Rips it across. Jarvis back in front for Aho. And he couldn't get the chip on that. Just out of his reach as Montreal come ahead to center ice. Demidov throws it in.
There's a puck that gets stuck as Demidov rims it in, but it gets stuck with the Henderson.
Evans plays it back. And from the Montreal blue line, Matheson up the far side for Newhook. He'll toss it in. No, he didn't. That was off the linesman. And back the other way goes Taylor Hall. He'll try his shot. That goes wide blocker side. Now bouncing to the Montreal line. It stays in. Taken away, though, by Matheson, far side. He's bothered by Jackson Blake. As here go the Habs to center. Newhook, far side. There's a shot. Kick save made by Anderson. That'll be the first shot of this overtime period for Montreal. And that one looks awfully similar to the Game 7 OT winner that Newhook got on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Shooting for the same corner as well.
Jackson Blake will hoist it out to center ice. 12.5 to play in overtime. Anderson at center. Backhands it in, off the boards. Sean Walker. In behind his own net. Stankoven picks it up. Moving it out to center ice. Texier's on it. And that floats away from him and ripped right back down the ice by Lane Hudson. Is this icing? Yes, it is. And the Habs have done that a few too many times here. Trying to stretch things out, JP.
Well, it's not easy as Carolina has done such a good job again this evening. They've condensed that neutral zone, and the easiest way to try and break that is to get the puck through that first layer of defense. But if the puck isn't fired up there properly, then it can easily get past for icing. We've seen that too many times for the Canadiens this evening.
Off the draw, Carolina win it back. Gostisbehere with his shot, goes astray. Struble, far side. Flips it to center. Bounces around. Anderson plays it in.
Anderson was the one who took that shot right in the ankle off of the faceoff. He could feel that. Just chips the puck into the corner. He's going to sit.
Ehlers out to center. Taken away by Struble. Near side Hudson. Back over to Struble. Up for Nick Suzuki now at center. He'll flip it in. Far corner. Hurricanes on it. Taken away by Caulfield. Caulfield, far side, through the slot. Carrier shot, that's high, off the glass. Gostisbehere will just toss it out on the backhand. And racing after it, Jarvis can't catch it. Carrier goes down near side for Montreal as Slavkovsky tries to power in over the line. That's picked off by Carolina. They'll play it out to center. Alexandre Carrier up the far side for Newhook. Cross-ice shoot in. Nick Suzuki on it. Kicked away from him though and played to the line. Dobson able to hold it in. Demidov throws it right toward the net. That's easily steered away though by Anderson. Now Matheson lost it. Here come the Canes down the far side. Aho stops through the middle. Chatfield with a shot, and that one goes high off of Jakub Dobish.
Sebastian Aho corrects his puck across the blue line. And he gets the defenders to back off, hits the brakes because he knows that he's going to have a second wave of attack coming in. And he spies Chatfield. Chatfield tries to go high far side, and Dobesh manages to get a shoulder on that puck. Best opportunity for the Canes here in the first overtime period. Just about halfway through.
10:32 precisely remains in overtime. I don't believe they've given Montreal credit for a shot yet, which I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, they had a crossbar. We know that.
They did.
That's not going to count.
Yep.
Suzuki had a glorious opportunity.
I'm thinking of the new hook shot, though, JP, where Anderson
right,
makes the kick save. I don't know how that's not a shot on net.
You're right.
Canadians played out to center. They've got it right now, 5-0 shots for Carolina in overtime. Though I will respectfully disagree. As here come the Canadians, or rather Hurricanes up to center. It is Keandre Miller in over the blue line. Near side, pokes it down low. Lane Hudson steps in on it. Tied up though in the corner. Jankowski throws it to the far side. Eric Robinson gets over to it for Carolina. Gave it away to Hudson, and he's tripped up. There's no call. And fans showing their dissatisfaction on that. As Carolina go all the way back to their own zone. Now Robinson. Tipped it in from center. Matheson far side. All the way out to the neutral zone for Nikishin. Dots to spare. Fires it in left side. Around it goes. Davidov and Blake tied up. Dobson on it behind the net. Back into the far corner. Dobson spins it off to Matheson. Played around to the far side. Demidov. Long pass ahead and out of the reach of Newhook. And again, it's going to be an icing for Montreal's side.
So we'll come back to that last sequence, and you can hear the Canadiens fans talking about it. It's Hudson from behind the net. He collects a puck, and it looks like he's making a sprint up the ice, and it's Aaron Robinson who gets his stick into Hudson's feet, sends him to the ground. No call made.
So we're going to scrape the ice. We're going to stay here with 9:11 to go in overtime as both teams get a bit of a breather. Even though that was an icing call for Montreal, the shots are 37-12 in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes. Boy, this is classic Habs hockey, isn't it, JP? Bend, never break, find a way.
The Canadians are going to have to sharpen up their skills here, as the Canes have definitely been the team who's been quicker to lose pucks. They've been more direct. Canadians need to get a little bit more direct themselves rather than getting pucks up the wall, where you know that the Carolina pressure is going to come down, pinches from the defenders. It's got to play a little bit more direct, pass to pass, tape to tape, pucks up the middle of the ice. That's where they're going to find their lanes.
JP, I was ready for a long one tonight. I got my honey lemon tea up here.
Good.
For the overtime. We almost didn't need it because Suzuki nearly ended this game less than 45 seconds into overtime.
Tremendous stretch pass. Suzuki's coming off the bench. Hudson gets the puck. He's backing up just to the tops of the circles in his own zone, and he fires a puck right up to the far blue line. Catches Nick Suzuki in stride. Suzuki comes in, tries to go roll left side on Freddie Anderson. Beats Anderson. Doesn't hit the net. Past that left post. Play continues.
So we'll face off again in the Montreal zone. Jakub Dobish has been brilliant again. 35 saves, 37 shots. And we're still here, halfway through the first overtime period in Game 3.
Just looking down at the Canes bench right now. Rod Brindamore rocking back and forth. Looks like a caged animal on that bench. I'm sure he would love to get out there and take a few draws of his own.
Jordan Stahl in for this one. Jake Evans wins it back, and the Habs flip it to center. And have they iced it again? Yes, they have.
Jake Evans does a hell of a job. He wins that face-off clean. And Noah Dobson kind of panics with it. I don't know if he just tried to chip that puck into the air, didn't get enough of it, or didn't get it high enough. But either way, too much pace on the puck. Jake Evans is going to have to do it again.
Habs are looking for So much transition here. I just haven't been able, other than the breakaway chance for Suzuki, they haven't had anything else going here. At least the transition, that is. As Stahl leans in for the face-off and wrenches it back, but the Habs poke it to center. Here's Newhook, full steam ahead. Slavin stays with him and sends him down to the ice. Carolina play it back to center. And that was full speed for Newhook, but Slavin showing off his own wheels. Able to stay with him as Slavin fires it in from center. Gooley in behind the Montreal net. Protects the puck from Martinook. Taken away by Jordan Stahl. Played down low off the boards. Picked up by Hudson. Looks over to Gooley. This pass gets away. It'll come back to Lane Hudson. Hudson cuts ahead to center. Dishes off near side. Suzuki in on it. Taken away though by Sean Walker. Walker plays it ahead. Now Keandre Miller back to center. It's ramped in by Andrei Svechnikov. Down low in the Montreal zone. Battle for it off the near corner boards. Lane Hudson feeds it ahead for Slavkovsky. That's knocked away. Loose in front. Slavkovsky recovers, knocks his man off the puck, and here he goes to center. 3-on-3. Slavkovsky lost it. And is that too many men?
Oh boy, it should be.
It is. Oh, maybe not. Here, Carolina's arguing the case. Play was whistled down.
Matheson and Hudson got crossed up.
I believe this is going to be too many men, JP. I can't imagine why else they would have whistled the play.
Oh, I agree with you.
We're going to get a call here from referee Wes McCauley. Oh, no, we're not. Because it's not too many men.
Oh, boy. So the play, as it happens, it gets fed up by the Canadiens bench. Mike Matheson is coming onto the ice. Lane Hudson is coming off of the ice. It ends up catching Hudson's skates. Rod Brindamore is desperate for a word with the referees. He's not going to get it.
Oh, it's going to be a face-off here at center, whether Carolina like it or not. We're going to stay 5-on-5. 7:45 to go in overtime with the score tied at 2. Played into the Montreal zone. Here's Alexandre Carrier. And the Habs still officially don't have a shot in this overtime. But you know, all it takes is one for this team. Matheson plays it around the boards to center. Miller had his man tied up. As it's all the way back for Sean Walker. He's blown up along the boards by Zach Bolduc. So Bolduc gets a shift. I don't believe we've seen him yet in overtime. Here's a loose puck for Stankoven. Far side has some space. That's cut off by Bolduc. Now picked up by Carolina. Far side Blake. Long drifter wide of the net to the corner. Slavin steps up on Anderson. The Habs sweep it off the boards. Dobson has iced the puck again.
I find that really curious that Stankoven didn't take that puck on. I thought he was going to skate it right to the net. Instead, he decides to cut it back, and it eliminates the opportunity, at the very least, make the Canadiens force you into a position, maybe take a penalty on you. Zach Bolduc was doing a pretty good job tracking back. That might have spooked Stankoven. Pulls it back in his backhand, but nothing doing.
Off the face-off, Canadiens able to sweep it up to center. Bolduc fires it in. Here's Anderson, fan on the shot. Carolina pick it up, and Nikishin feeds it down the left side for Robinson. Left side, shot goes wide, and the Habs back the other way, trying to spring Caulfield. That's broken up by Carolina. Now it's played in from center. William Carrier with a good hit on the forecheck. Caulfield floats it back through center ice. This will be taken by Jalen Chatfield. Jankowski from center. He'll toss it into the Montreal zone.
Fresh bodies over the boards for Carolina.
Here's Lane Hudson. Gives it away. Svechnikov through the middle. Made a move to the backhand. He's well defended. Stays with it though. Svechnikov, far side, cross ice. Jarvis Back for Svechnikov. Wrister scores! Andrei Svechnikov with the overtime winner for Carolina in Game 3.
Seth Jarvis with the pass out to Svechnikov. All kinds of traffic net front with Slafkovsky and Aho there. Svechnikov fires this puck in. Don't know if it takes a tip, but it does make its way past Jakub Dobeš. And there's the OT winner. And the overtime streak continues for Carolina. They go to 5-0. And they take a 2-1 series lead.
And the Montreal Canadiens drop their second straight in overtime. We believe this would be Svechnikov with the winner. Well, I thought it took a tip in front as well, JP. I don't know if it hit Slafkovsky or Aho. But at any rate, it's a clean goal. So they are having a conversation here at the scores table. Now, is there possibly a question of goalie interference on this?
Not sure if that's exactly what they're looking at. But you can know Carolina is hammering it off the ice. They're trying to get back to the hotel right now.
Canadians are still sparsely gathered around their bench.
We talked about puck management. It's not often we say it, but it's a careless play with Lane Hudson as he turns the puck over on an errant pass.
And they're going to call this a good goal. And that'll be all she wrote tonight. In Montreal, it is a 3-2 win for the Hurricanes. Time now for the Molson Export 3 stars of the game. We'll get to that in a minute. First, they are announcing a goal here for Andrei Svechnikov in overtime. So Carolina with the OT win tonight. We'll be back here for Game 4 on Wednesday night. That'll be another 8 p.m. start. Time now for the Molson Export 3 stars.
Tonight's Molson 3 stars. La troisième étoile, the third star, Taylor Hall. La deuxième étoile, the second star, Mike Matheson. Et la première étoile, the first star, Sebastian Au. Mesdames, Messieurs, nous vous remercions de votre présence.
There you have it, your 3 stars of the game. We'll have a quick look back here as well at the play of the game. Gives it away. Svechnikov through the middle, made a move to the backhand. He's well defended. Stays with it though. Svechnikov, far side, cross ice. Jarvis back for Svechnikov. Wrister scores! Andrei Svechnikov with the overtime winner for Carolina in Game 3. Svechnikov with your winner tonight. We mentioned just prior to the 3 stars, we will be right back on the TSN 690 airwaves on Wednesday night. Look forward to having you along for the ride then. In the meantime, we got plenty of post-game reaction on this late night at the Bell Center. It is the Delmar post-game show with your host, Mitch Gallo.
Thank you very much, Victor. Delmar postgame show coming up next here on TSN 690. As always, we want to hear from you at 514-790-1690. And you can reach us via text message at 11690. That one, bit of a gut punch in overtime. Canadians had their chances in the overtime period. Nick Suzuki firing wide. Mike Matheson off the crossbar. It was right there. Canadians couldn't find a way to win it. And Carolina takes a 2-1 series lead with Game 4 back here at the Bell Center on Wednesday. 514-790-1690. Coming up on the Delmar postgame show, we'll be chatting with JP O'Connor here in the broadcast booth at the Bell Center. We'll get you the coach's comments with Martin St. Louis, as well as player reaction. How do you feel tonight, Montreal fans? Give me a call at 514-790-1690 because the Delmar postgame show is coming up next.
SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. Montreal Canadiens take on the Carolina Hurricanes at 8 p.m. Canadians on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 934, Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219 and Internet 924, national feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91.
The PGA Tour comes to life on SiriusXM. It's your destination for everything on the tour. Hear live hole-by-hole coverage and expert analysis. PGA Tour Radio, SiriusXM 92.
Hockey Hall of Famer, Stanley Cup champion, and two-time Olympic gold medalist Chris Pronger stopped by the morning skate with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio on Channel 89 to discuss what Matt Sundin's role will be with the Toronto Maple Leafs and the NHL draft.
I think it's really, patience is critical, I think, at that level. When you're in management and kind of, there's not a lot of it going around in Toronto right now. And that'll be the challenge, I think, is really kind of letting whatever plan they put into place kind of play out and maybe have that ability to kind of let it mature a little bit, get a little water on the roots, so to speak, and let it grow. But I think to a certain extent, they've got a little bit of a pressure point here with Matthews and, what his plans are. I don't think they can let that situation play out too far into the season. They're going to have to get an answer as to what his plans are, what moves they're able to make throughout the course of, the draft, the offseason, free agency, etc.